Welcome to the stage where hearts unfold in the morning glow, stories untold. Let's play with words, a masterpiece of art where dialogues bloom, igniting every heart. Let's tap into the ocean of thoughts where waves of healing gently salt. Let's paint with words, a masterpiece of art where dialogues bloom, igniting every heart. Let's dive into the ocean of thoughts where waves of healing gently sought. Together we'll mend, stitch by stitch in the morning glow. Let's make the switch. A symphony of voices, harmonizing the air, echoing truth, banishing despair. Let's sow seeds of unity, watch them grow in this garden of hope under the morning glow. Let's bridge the gaps, erase the line in the tapestry of hearts that love shine. With every word, a step we take towards a brighter dawn for all our sake. Welcome to the morning glow, where dreams take flight in this realm of possibilities. Let's unite, together we stand, hand in hand, healing the nation across the land. Let's dive into the ocean of thoughts where waves of healing gently sought. Together we'll mend, stitch by stitch in the morning glow. Let's make the switch. Let's dive into the ocean of thoughts where waves of healing gently sought. Together we'll mend, stitch by stitch in the morning glow. Let's make the switch. Let's symphony of voices, harmonizing the air, echoing true.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important, just a question asker. My name is Raheen Ajme out of Atlanta, Georgia, but I got my brothers from another mother. I got my brothers, well, see, my sister, but my sister ain't here yet. Okay, but I got my brothers from another mother, but we got the same father on this morning. Good morning, Dr. J. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, big brother. How are you, man?
A hyena, happy, elephant, elated, and porcupine proud to be here this morning. Yes, Lord. Yes. Look how they say, yes, I is. Yes, I is.
Yes, I is. Yes, I is.
Yes, I is. Badger, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Another day we get to share and learn.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. Captain Leonard, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem, and the Morning Glow family.
Leonard, you know I got to start off with you, man.
No. What?
You know where you know where I'm going, man. You know where I'm going.
Oh, just keep going. Just keep going.
I got to stop by, blow the horn and everything. I got to blow the horn. Man, what in the world got into Philadelphia yesterday, man?
I don't know. I was boycotting. I don't know.
You didn't watch the Super Bowl?
I boycotted the second half, Raheem.
Man, Kansas City scored some points because they let up on them a little bit. They let up, but as a whole, man, look here. Kansas City wasn't ready, man. I ain't never seen a Kansas City Chief team a team come like that, especially one with a Reed team unprepared like that, man. I've never seen a Reed team unprepared like that.
Ain't no explanation for it except for somebody that went in to win that thing, man. Like I said, somebody just took it a little bit more serious than the other.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. And see, they talking about history. They talking about history and all this stuff, man. And 3P, the only team in the history to 3P, man. You would think they would take that a little seriously, man. You know, the first team to 3P. No team has ever 3P'd. Still ain't got no team that ever 3P. Still, Philadelphia said, if y'all gonna do it, y'all won't do it against us.
Right.
Dr. J, talk to me, brother. What'd you think about that game yesterday?
I didn't get a chance to watch it, man. I had some other things going on, so
Okay.
I didn't see it.
Okay. You
You
ain't
know.
man, look here. If you are like Kansas, if you like the Kansas City Chiefs, you don't want to see it.
Yeah, my girls was telling me about it. They were so disappointed, man.
Mhm.
You know, they were so disappointed.
They
You
wanted
know.
they wanted Kansas City to win.
Yeah, one of
Mm,
them did anyway, but the other one was all excited because the way Philadelphia was just, you know.
man. There was a boxing match that Philadelphia won and didn't throw down jab. They ain't throw no jabs.
They ain't so jab, right?
They ain't throw down jab, man. They were just a beat down, bro. They were just a beat down. Scoring on offense, defense, all over the fence. All over the fence. You hear me? I say offense, defense, all over the fence. They were scoring. It was something else, man. It was something to see.
It could happen to the best of them, but shout out to it couldn't happen to a better guy, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely,
Hey,
absolutely.
Raheem,
Yes.
the Eagles got them so well because they found out the Chiefs supported Trump.
Yep. Yep. And he was there. And got booed out the building, man. He was there and got.
He didn't get booed out. That was Taylor
That was
Swift.
a bad omen.
What'd you say, Badger?
Taylor Swift got booed out from everything I saw this morning, and Trump was cheered.
No. You I don't know what you was looking at, brother. You must have
They
been looking
ain't
at
Trump
something different.
country. Yeah, they ain't Trump
Huh?
country right there. That's not
No,
Trump country right there.
not at all. Not at all. They booed him out the building, man. As a matter of fact, I can never feel sad for Trump, 47, whatever you want to call him, but I felt a little twinkle in my heart for his wife because she had to stand there and do all that, man. You know, she was squeezing his hand hard, man, because she had to deal with the fact that him being booed like he was.
That's what he get. He's supposed to be booed, sucker.
Lord. But yeah, it was and another thing that everybody's talking about this morning is that halftime performance by Kendrick Lamar. That was it was amazing, man. And people watched it, but I hope people saw it because there was a lot tied into that, man. There was a lot tied into that halftime performance that he put up there. There was a lot of messages linked in there in that halftime show. A lot of time, people just look at it for a performance, and that's all they'll see. But he was making a statement. He made a statement with that halftime show. Leonard, did you see it?
Yeah, I like it. It was very well put together. It was very simple.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like to see him do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'm not the biggest Kendrick Lamar fan, but that brother really did well. I think I would like to see him more.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And
You know, sometimes if you're not into him or whatever, you may not get it. It's
Mhm.
easy not to get.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely. Go ahead, brother.
Lil Wayne he's not relevant at all.
No.
And I heard some things and I seen some things about the brother Kendrick Lamar, and like I say, my ministry is different, so I do some things other pastors wouldn't agree with, but whatever. Um, the brother have done a lot of things prior to doing the Super Bowl, and that's one of the reasons they selected him.
Mm-hmm.
He brought a whole lot of people together that a lot of people were afraid and didn't know how to. When you start talking about different gangs and stuff like that from all over who had never been, and we're talking about serious enemies standing side by side in a peaceful situation, and this young brother done all that. And when you talk about the people in New Orleans had a fit of about Lil Wayne doing it because it's his home, but at the same time, he don't represent the change
No.
that is needed
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when you start talking about change, you're talking about there are so many different changes that is needed, not just for people, but for this country.
Mm-hmm.
And that young brother is one who can connect the young people.
Yep.
And it's just and to me, I think it's young people like that you keep an eye on them, because if you get caught slipping, this young brother be moving so many things around, man, and people will go to sleep on him because of what he do. But
Exactly.
like Leonard said, they miss the message because it's so
Mm-hmm.
simple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, or they
Yeah.
group him as a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, but he bigger than that.
And some of the stuff that he was saying, man, even down to using Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam, there was a lot tied into that thing, man. That whole thing, and what he was saying, and the symbolism of how he put everything together. Everything meant something. Everything was symbolic of something that's going on right now. And a lot of times they think that he was throwing a lot of jabs at Drake. Truth of the matter, he really was. He nudged him he nudged him once or twice, but he was more or less talking about what's going on with the society that we're living in right now, and how this thing is actually being approached, and how it's being dealt with. That was the main thing he was talking about. It was a lot of symbolism in there, man. And they say Trump left at halftime. They say 47 left at halftime because I don't know if somebody told him or what, but a lot of that stuff was geared toward him, man. A lot of that stuff was really geared toward him and what he's doing and what his group is trying to do. But a lot of people, like I say, it was so simple yet so complicated that I'm sure a lot of people missed it. I'm sure a lot of people missed it. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
You know, what you just said was really important to me. Like I say, I like Lamar, but looking at him off stage
Mm-hmm.
and the work that he's trying to do, I hope he is more than just angry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not into rich people picking fights with rich people
Mm-hmm.
and coming up with that type of thing. I'm just not into that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that he should focus his energy on, like you said, what makes him relevant is speaking to current issues
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in society. That's what makes him so relevant. That's what makes him more, I would say, he could go down as one of the great poets, you know?
Yeah, yeah. But you know
if
what's
he
sad, Leonard?
focuses on this, the very thing that he is against, he is on one side victim.
Yeah, and same thing I was gonna say, Leonard. The one thing that a lot of people is going to love about him is the exact same thing that other people are gonna hate about him. And that's just what it is.
If he follows that rule of staying true to himself and change, I think his career lasts longer.
Mm-hmm.
However, what Jordan said, Lil Wayne,
Mm-hmm.
is not relevant.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not. And you can see this story of hip hop starting to tell the truth and accept the truth of the matter.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the things that people said and they may have been hit records, but they were just BS.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you are a lyricist, people want to listen to you. You say things that they say, "Hey, hold on. Let me listen to this a little bit closer." Yeah, the beat is great, but this guy's really saying something.
Yeah.
And so I think to stick to that truth instead and not get swept to the side like all these other rappers that wind up fighting each other for no apparent reason at all.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And going to the inauguration and supporting somebody that don't support you. That's a whole different conversation.
Well, what does that mean? When you said that, what did you mean?
You know what I meant. I think you know exactly what I meant.
Didn't. That's why I'm asking.
Going to the inauguration, going to 47 inaugurations, you got individuals that flip-flop, rappers that flip-flop. Nelly.
Are you?
I'm gonna tell you. Nelly is one of them. You got a couple others that went there, but the one that really was disappointing to me was Snoop, because and I'm gonna tell you why I say that, because Snoop still is so firmly on it. The first time 47 won, I want to see which one of y'all jigaboo ends gonna go out there and perform for him. I'm gonna be the first one to clown you. I'm not gonna let you rest. Every chance I get, I'm gonna beat you down because of the fact that you're going and you performing for this blah blah blah. He called them all kind of names, like some names I can't say on here. But and then the second time that 47 won, they're the same individual going and perform for him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well,
like you said, we never know. We never know why. But you have to remember, he knows the man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He has a commonality with the man,
which is
wealth, wealth and fame. You have to remember, and that's why I said what I said before about rap music in this culture. They glorify people like Trump because a lot of them are just like him. They may not be racist, but they're criminals.
Are we really?
A lot of them have those backgrounds. A lot of them coveted riches and fame and fortune.
Let me ask you this question.
Lil Wayne gets to the point where he gets Trump to help him get out of his troubles.
Let me ask you this question, Leonard, and you're absolutely right when you say it's all about wealth and fame and all of that stuff. I'm gonna say one thing. I'm gonna ask you a question. First, what does it profit a man to gain the world but to lose his soul? Now, I say that, then I come back with this: are we willing? Not talking about you and I'm talking about as a people. Are we really that willing to just sell out for that money and that fame?
Well,
are we that willing?
Well, I wouldn't say that because I'm not you people.
I say people. I didn't say you. I say
people. What those? Like I said, Snoop is one of my favorite examples. Because he's like one of my. I just admire him and what he's accomplished. However, he can lose too. He can make a mistake. He can lose.
Do you think he made a mistake?
He lost.
You think he made a mistake?
Definitely.
Wow.
Because he did, but he did it to himself. You came out and you said all this stuff, and now look at you. That's why you have to be true to it.
I guess he turned out being that jigaboo. I guess he turned out being that little jigaboo end that he said that he spoke so
like I said,
strongly
he called
against.
himself all them names.
Let me go to.
Ain't that crazy? My mother would revel in that because she used to always say things to me like, "Don't say what you'll never do," because you don't know.
Yeah. Truth. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. Let us know what you think. Let me go to Badger. Badger don't look at sports, so we ain't gonna talk to him about that football thing. But what do you think about this right here? These rappers and the impact that they have on society and how they flip flop. And I'm not gonna just limit it to rappers. People. Let's say people as a whole that flip flop like they do. Because I don't want to pick on rappers today.
I mean,
come on.
Self-preservation is a driving factor for many of them.
Is that what it is, though, Badger?
I wouldn't say all, no. I think there's greed involved. There's lust involved. There's self-preservation involved. You know, there's not going to be one word to describe all people that do that. And it's kind of been having a lot of interesting conversations as of late involving the executive orders that have been putting out. Where I've called some of them, I'm like, do you agree with everything that he's put out so far? And they're like, yeah, I haven't found anything. I don't know of anything that I disagree with. Then I show them a couple of orders, and they're like, I don't agree with that. And I don't agree with this. I'm like, oh, so you don't agree with everything he's doing. So it's, I think people are so worried about losing their homes, losing stuff just in general, not being able to take care of their families and different things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a crazy world we live in, and it continued to get worse and worse and worse, and now we've hit ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't surprise me people are flip-flopping. As far as Snoop goes, wouldn't surprise me if he got a letter or got a check.
Oh, he
That's
did
what
get a
he
check.
did.
Oh, he did get a check. You can believe that.
So
He did get a check.
I've kind of gotten away from rap music for the most part, or
Mm-hmm.
things of that nature, because I've been on the streets. I survived, you know, different things of that nature. There are still some that I like, but they're older,
Mm-hmm. Good deal.
you
Good
know.
deal. Let me
But
go ahead. Go finish your thought, brother. Badger.
I had to unmute it. I don't know how anyone could be surprised that they are.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Annie from Mississippi. Good morning, young lady. How you doing? Toussaint coming to you next, sir. Oh, Annie hung up. Okay. Hopefully she'll call back in. Toussaint, talk to me, brother. Good morning. How you
You want
doing
me
this
to
morning?
talk to you about good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
If that was my ball they was playing with, I would have took it and went home.
It was that bad, huh?
I won't play with y'all no more. Yeah, I was confident before the game started, and it went downhill quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Started out bad for them.
Yeah. Lord help mercy.
Mm-hmm.
The subject, y'all, the topic y'all talking about this morning, I'm totally ignorant of it. I have to admit that.
Mm-hmm.
Who they are, I don't know these people.
Okay.
I mean any harm by calling them these people.
Mm-hmm.
Now I do know Samuel Jackson, and the first thing I thought about was Django.
Wow. Wow.
I really did.
Mm-hmm.
The same character. I don't know if
But that's why he was there. That's why he was there, Toussaint.
So yeah, and I think so. And I saw that. I thought that in the background of my head, but I heard him say, I got disturbed when he said, that's ghetto.
Right.
But it was part of the performance. Did you know that they apprehended one of the performers?
No.
Holding a Palestinian flag out of the, let's see how it says. It was one of the 400 member field cast. And he was standing on the car and he pulled out a Palestinian flag. And they went get him. Saddam Gaza written on it. And I'll send it to you, Raheem.
Okay.
And I was just so we have no freedom of speech in our performances too. Or we have it, but it's limited based on who's in the crowd. I'm just assuming.
Yeah.
You know, when you start with the first three letters, it's possible. It is possible. You start assuming it.
Yeah.
But I was thrown for a loop when the first segment of the performance, and then Samuel Jackson shows up, and he says what he says in it. And I know it was all part of it, and all of the people that were involved, it was making a broad statement.
It was.
Oh yeah, and it was like I'm gonna hit you with this right now. At this moment, welcome to halftime. And Can you imagine? I don't know if they're on the left or the right. Their impression of the performance and the statements that were made. There was some that knows that clearly. You have to look at it abroad. You can't be narrow in looking at it because you get the wrong message.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't know them in the background. I heard y'all talking about all the things he does off scene, so I don't know him. I don't know what he stands for. I know that there are some characters that just disturbs me, and I know that when Samuel played the picture in the Django, people hated him.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And here he comes in the midst of the performance, the hated guy in the Uncle Sam's uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that something? It's kind of like a double whammy to me. And I'm saying that out of ignorance. There's nothing wrong with being ignorant. So I'm just trying to be educated as I listen to y'all clarify some of the reasons for the performance in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Wow. It was a lot going on, brother. It was a lot going on. Jay, talk to me.
You know, having I got a 40-year-old, a 33-year-old, and a 32-year-old, right?
Mm-hmm.
They think different from us. And we sit down, we have these conversations, man, and sometimes I'd be like, man, they don't tolerate what we tolerate.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, sometimes I try to I let them be them, but sometimes I'm trying to understand where they coming from, and they like, man, you know, we just not gonna put up with what y'all put up with.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to think it was arrogance, but as I continue to deal with them and learn from them, the younger generation is just confident. They've seen us go through stuff that they just feel like, you know what, I am not going to do that. Now, what a lot of them are doing, they don't care nothing about no jobs. You know, they go on a vacation after 3 months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, whether you like it or not, we're going to quit this job. We're going on a vacation. We're going to come back, get another job. And the system is starting to cater to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we living in different times. And I think some of these young guys who are in the rap industry and all, I think a lot of times people underestimate them as far as their intelligence and how educated some of them are. You know, and some of these young guys know what they're called to do.
Yeah.
You know, and they making the movement, whether we're aware of it or not. They preparing for whatever. Some stuff we refuse to see that they can see.
Yeah.
And they preparing for some things.
Or we just truth of the matter, not that we don't want to see sometimes.
We don't want to see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're not gonna ask for nothing. They taking what they want.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Dr. J. Toussaint wanted to ask you a question. Toussaint?
So in light of the conversation, because I think we need to have more conversations with the young folks, 40, 30, 25, and you know, your kids' age, my kids' age. The question is, do you think, or do we think, that we have toned down too much for them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We talk.
Wow. And see, that was the topic I wanted to talk about today. And it's amazing how I just segue right into that. And I can't say it's the same. I think it's a little different, but it's the same category. Do we put too much pressure as parents? Do we put too much pressure on our children to succeed? Do we in a roundabout way try to make their success a part of our success or success that we didn't have? Because responsibility came to us when we started having children. So do we push our children too much to be successful and not allowing them to be exactly who they are? That episode of the Cosby Show where Theo was talking to his dad, Cliff, and he said, "Man, maybe I just want to be. What if I just want to be happy? What if I don't want to be a doctor like you, or an attorney like mom? What if I just want to be? What if I just want to be? Do we allow our children to just be?" Badger, talk to me.
And that's we. I know there's a lot of parents out there that boy, it's gonna be a rough one to say.
Badger,
Yeah,
you better be careful, Badger, because you making it sound like my questions are getting. Watch this. My questions are getting gooder and gooder. Like my questions are getting gooder and gooder. Not better
it
and better.
happens. It happens.
Oh.
Um, the first thing it made me think of was a narcissist.
Mm.
There are.
Let's stay where we are. We're talking about, are we putting too much on our kids though? Let's stay where we are.
I feel some do and some don't.
Mm-hmm.
I feel many times in a lot of the situations that I've ended up dealing with, being a family support and the therapy stuff that I do, it's it's wild.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, especially in my age group, because I'm only about to be 39. They don't want to repeat the same things that were done to them to their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Many of them don't. But then again, a lot of them also facilitate and then wonder why their kids behave the way that they do. So it's a lot of times I think finding a balance, and it also depends on age group and different things of that nature. As far as like how I work with my kids is I want to find out what they enjoy and what they're good at,
Mm-hmm.
and give them the tools to be successful in those fields
Mm-hmm.
if that's what they're happy with.
Mm-hmm.
But to try to force them to be something that they have no interest in, I'm not a narcissist.
There are some coaches that push their children to be doctors and attorneys and different things of that nature, and they push their children. There's some coaches out there that really push their children in that direction, whether they want to be that or not. And the children, they say, "Well, that's what mom wanted me to do, or that's what dad wanted me to do," and so they pursue that, not necessarily finding the happiness and the joy that they need out of life for themselves.
I don't have the mentality to go, I want my kid to be a doctor so that way they can so I can retire on their
Mm-hmm.
wage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that thought.
I don't know. I don't know if it's based on that. I think it's based on just the status, and they want their children to have a certain status, so they can look at people can look at their children as being quote unquote successful. Or your children did so well. Your child's an attorney, or your child's a doctor, and so that's a lot of. Let me go to Annie from Mississippi. That's a lot of unwanted, or undeserved pressure that some parents put on it. And like I said, certain cultures that do that all the time. I've talked to a few people that said, "Man, my mom wanted me to be a doctor so bad, or my dad wanted me to be an attorney so bad. I had to do it." No, you didn't. But anyway, Annie from Mississippi, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, great morning, God morning to everybody.
Good day. And what do you think about what we're talking about right now? And there are some cultures that put that on their children. You're going to be a doctor, or you're going to be an attorney, or something along those lines. Do we put too much pressure on our children?
When I look back, I wish that my parents would have pushed me.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really wish they would have pushed me. I wanted to join the military. They say, well, no, women don't join the military, which that was not true. But, keep in mind, I had old school parents. My parents was older. I'm the youngest of the 15 children that
Mhm.
my father had. I'm the youngest girl.
Okay.
So they, they just wasn't, they didn't know how. I don't think they had the tools themselves to know how to pour into me or to guide me. But I really wish my parents would have pushed me, when I first coming to high school. It would have saved me a whole bunch of headache years down the road. I promise you.
Mhm.
But I know some coaches do push their children to be great. And I don't see a whole lot wrong with that. Now, if a child is determined not to be a doctor, and the father's a doctor, the grandfather a doctor, you want the grandbaby to be a doctor. I could understand that, Raheem. If the child is interested in that, I can understand it.
Mm-hmm.
But if the child don't have no interest in being a doctor, he wants to be a lawyer instead, that's okay, as long as he be something great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with a parent putting, putting great ideas or even pushing the child to go further, to go far in life.
So,
I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't know. Because,
now, what if this child, Annie, and I'm gonna throw something at you real quickly. What if this child had no interest in being a doctor or an attorney? He wanted to be a trash collector. I want to be the garbage man. I want to be the garbage woman. I want to drive the garbage truck. Should that be looked down upon?
I won't say look down upon, but I would definitely let him or her know that there is more to life than being a trash collector. There is more to life. You young, their job is for fellow people. You have the world ahead of you. Don't just come out of high school and you dream to be a trash collector. So that would not sit well with me. It would not. Some people maybe, but I mean, you can be anything you want to be. You can be anything that you desire to be. I don't think you need to be looking at a trash collector, not when you are, have so much before you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Leonard, what do you say to that? Do we push our children too hard to be what we think that they should be? If little Johnny want to be a trash collector, a garbage man, want to drive the garbage truck or be the one swing behind the garbage truck picking up the pails, he want to do something. Should we look down upon that, or push him in another direction, or try to attempt to push him in another direction?
Yeah, you need to push him in another direction.
Why?
You need to let him know to be the owner of a trash collection company.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What good is there to desire something anybody can do?
Mm-hmm.
What extra does it take to do that? Most people who are taking less than because they have a problem getting more.
Mm-hmm.
So this notion that you can do, the point of the matter is you can tell a great story, but if that great story don't feed the bills, it's the wrong story you're telling.
Mm-hmm.
So people can say, you can let children lead you, but remember, you're the parent.
Mm-hmm.
You should be smarter than the child. You should push your child for excellence.
Leonard, have you ever seen anybody that was very successful in life, maybe doctor or a lawyer or an engineer or whatever they are, and they're miserable because of the fact that they find no joy in what they do?
No, I don't know people like that.
I do.
Like I say, if they miserable, it's their problem. They're the one doing what they're doing every day. They grown.
No. I don't agree with that, and I'm gonna tell you why I don't agree with that. Because the ones that I know,
well, ain't nobody never forced me into a job that I didn't want.
Listen to me now. The ones that I know, the ones that I have a conversation with, because I talk. Well, I ain't got to tell you. I talk to everybody. I love to talk to people. These people are very successful in what they're doing, in the life that they selected, but their parents pushed them down that alley. Now they're doing something. I ain't gonna say whether they're good or bad at it, but they're doing something that is not fulfilling to them as an individual. They're not happy. They're paid. They're wealthy. They're wealthy.
The problem is that you gotta think about it, Raheem.
Mm-hmm.
I don't associate with people like that. First of all,
okay.
And second of
You never
all,
know.
I question any adult that ain't got enough sense to do what they want to do.
See, Leonard,
So I don't get into it with those people, like I say, complaining about nothing.
There are different cultures out there in the society that we live in. There's different cultures where if the parents say you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this. Here in America, not always that way. But I'm gonna tell you something.
Well, if you want to take part of their wealth, you need to follow their plan.
I'm gonna ask the question one more time. What does it profit a man to gain the world but to lose his soul? My thing is this right here, man. These people are pushed in these positions. They're pushed, and some people say, that's good because you're very successful, but they're not happy.
But
they're
that
not
has
happy.
Nothing to do with to me when you say losing your soul and all that type of stuff. I'm not. I mean, I don't really know what that means. I've never seen a doctor that didn't want to be a doctor.
Wow.
So I don't know.
Wow. I've seen. Wow. That's okay. That may be the issue because I've seen and had conversations with them. I've talked to them. Now,
I don't really care for those type of people very much.
I was going to say something, but I can't put that out there because I can't do that. But my thing is this: I've talked to them. I've talked to a few that were doing that, and that's what they do. But they're not happy because they don't feel that as though they're fulfilled.
Poor thing.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's keep this thing going. Let me go to who I guess I've got a couple people just came in with this. Cassandra Alexander Green. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning? Rico, come to you next, brother.
Good morning.
Asking a question: do we push our children? Do we sometimes push our children too hard to be what we want them to be? We're talking about. And Cassandra, Leonard said he's never seen it. I've seen many people that's very successful, doctors or attorneys or different people of that nature, that are not happy in what they do because the parents say you're gonna be this, and I say is a lot of times it's based on culture. These cultures tell their children you're gonna be a doctor, you're gonna be an attorney, you're gonna be an engineer, and that's what they end up doing. Not being happy in what they're doing. Successful, making great money, but is that the answer? What do you say to that, Cassandra? Have you ever seen a person that was pushed into a position because their parents told them they had to, and they're just not happy in it?
Absolutely, and I'm going to tell you, I did mental health work with a program called Bright, and it was I worked with young people from, I think the youngest was maybe, I think we started with 12 to 30. The program was 12 to 30, and there was so many. Let me tell you the two groups that I worked with the most: African, and Indian.
Absolutely.
And those kids were having mental breakdowns because they were trying to live up to their parents'
expectations
idea of what they needed to do. And I'm telling you no lie, I was shocked at how hard they push their children to be successful. I don't have a problem with people encouraging their children to, be a nurse, be a doctor. But these kids were having mental breakdowns at 13 years old because of their parents pushing them so hard. So some cultures are really bad with that. And I don't care if my child is a street sweeper. If that's what they want to do and they're happy being a street sweeper, the garbage man, whatever, as long as they ain't out there stealing and doing something illegal, I have no problem with what they choose to do. I would rather see my child be happy. When I say happy, have joy and feel fulfilled, than for them to walk around miserable and in a bad mental state. That's just me. And I saw it. I worked with them. So I was seeing them all the time. Every day almost. I was seeing a kid or a young person, early 20s, up to 30, that were having mental breakdowns for different reasons. But most of them were from pressure from parents.
Exactly. And truth of the matter, Everybody have their own take on it. I don't think that's good to put that pressure on children like that. I don't think it's good. And what if for whatever reason they don't become the doctor or the attorney that you want them to be? What happens at that point? What level of disappointment do you display to that child that they did not become a doctor or an attorney? What level of disappointment do you display? What does that do to that child?
Every kid, I'll go as far as saying even this. Every kid is not college material.
Yeah.
They may need to do something, learn a skill or a trade.
Yep.
Let me tell you, plumbers and electricians, they do not have 4-year degrees, most of them, and they make more money than the people with the 4-year degrees.
Exactly.
So I say, I don't know, because this I'm passionate about this because, I deal with these young people. Don't do that.
Yeah.
You think you're doing something to help them, and you putting your child in a mental state or in an unhappy state because you want them to do blase and be doctor or whatever. I don't know. It's just me, man. I've seen these kids suffer, so I'm gonna stop right there.
My question is this, and we're going to go to Rico, but my question is this: why are you doing that? Is it for you? Is it for the children, or is it for the way that the society is going to look at you as being a parent? What is it like? What are you doing? Why are you pushing them in that way? Oh, look at my son. My son is a doctor. Look at my daughter. My daughter's an attorney. She has her own law firm and all these different things. Okay. But are they happy? Do their happiness mean anything at all to you? Do it. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm just up for a little minute. Happy to see another beautiful new day of life. How everybody else doing?
Hey, doing good. Good to have you, brother. What do you say about what we're talking about right now, man? Have you ever seen a person that has pushed their children in a way to become a doctor or lawyer or engineer or whatever the case, and the children pursue that, but they're just not happy?
I'm gonna go along with Cassandra. I'm gonna let you read my mind because I've seen that with Africans and quite a few Indians, West Indies. First of all, let me say that my thoughts go out to Cassandra. I saw what happened this weekend, and I really hate that you went through that. I'm glad that you called in this morning, probably get your mind off of it, but I hope everything come out all right for you.
Thank you, Rico.
I missed something, man. I got to catch you up to speed. I don't know what's going on. I missed something.
I let her tell you. Maybe she won't tell you off air. She'll get around to what she want to tell you.
Okay. All right.
Based off the question you asked, yeah, I agree with Cassandra. Like I said, I know of Africans and quite a few Indians that have that situation. And it even applies to having arranged marriages. Some of those Indian people, they are the ones that are the most conflicted. Even in their success, quote unquote, they're conflicted because they had other dreams. It sort of reminded me of when I was young. I was so into sports, I didn't want to be in band, but if I had to get in band, I at least want to play drums. But I didn't have no choice in playing drums. My dad made me play saxophone. So it was convenient for him. So even though I appreciated the talent and I realized later on what type of potential I had, my heart never was really into it because that wasn't what I desired.
Yeah.
So sometimes parents can pressure children into doing things that they really don't desire to do. Now, it could be a problem when you're pressuring them in that manner, or when you're doing it just because they can achieve some type of status that makes you feel like they've accomplished something. Oh, look at what my son did, look what my daughter did, but they're unhappy. But now, at the same time, when you realize that your child has the potential or the aptitude to be able to accomplish some of these great statuses, maybe to be an asset to society in that way. Maybe you see just they have a natural gift to debate and argue, to observe and use logic. You say, you know what, man, you should be an attorney. I think I'm gonna lead them down that direction. It's a thin line between pressure and guidance.
Mm-hmm.
You can guide somebody down a certain direction and influence them to be something that they might be good at, but they don't realize they're good at it. They just got this natural gift.
Mm-hmm.
So, it can be pro and con for everything. But in those cultures with the Africans and with the Indians, I do hear, and over my time of life, I have met those that were more conflicted because of the fact that they were pressured not only to go down a career path they didn't want to, but to marry somebody that they didn't want to marry. I was actually dealing with an Indian woman. She was so beautiful, man. She looked like Chili from TLC. She was completely Indian, though. Everybody thought she was black. And she just never connected with Indian guys.
Yeah.
And the reason why I didn't pursue it was because I didn't want to be the one that came between her and her father. I didn't want to have to be the one that had to hide and deceive her father because she truly loved me, a black man. And eventually that's what happened. Now they made out, they ended up coming out all right. Life brought everything around full circle and he accepted what she loved. She was defiant. But you rarely find people who are defiant like that, So yeah, it can be a bad situation when the parents put that pressure on the child. But it's even worse if they put the pressure on the child and they don't give them the proper support, or they don't put pressure on them when they know that their child has the potential to be great.
Exactly. It's a lot, Ben. It's a lot tied into this thing, man. Dr. J, talk to me, brother.
I agree. I agree with something Leonard said as well. If they want to be a garbage man, fine. I'd support you 100%. But now let's cultivate that gift.
No, Leonard said no. Leonard said no. Push him.
Yeah, Leonard. Yeah, Leonard say if he want to be a garbage man, let him be a garbage man. I agree with that.
He didn't say that. He didn't say that, dog. No.
Okay.
Leonard said push him to own his own garbage company, but don't let him be a garbage man on back of the truck. Or there's nothing in being something that's average. You want to push him to be something better than average. He said no. If he's gonna do that, make sure that he owns his own garbage company, but not just sitting on the back of the garbage truck.
And the reason I agree with that is because you never know a person's background, right? So I grew up in a trucking family. And I wound up buying a truck at an early age. But I was wild and crazy, man. And I parked the truck. And I went to be a garbage man. And it was the best job I had ever had. And they fired me because they hired me to drive, but I would work on the back of it. And it was like, you don't get it. But to me, it was the excitement about it, right? But from that, I went on to be successful in the business. And they didn't discourage me when I did it. They thought I was crazy, but they say, you know what, hopefully he'll grow out of it. And thank God I did. But as I went on, they began to cultivate my desires for having a love for trucks, And so I was able to own and do extremely well in owning a truck and being in that particular field and stuff like that. And so even with my children and my grandchildren, we cultivate the gifts that they have. And I think right now, a lot of times people are cultivating their children to be ball players, but cultivate your children to be, or your grandchildren to be an owner, a coach. But so many people are pushing them to be at the bottom. You don't make money driving a truck. You make money in the broker side of the truck. You don't make money being the player, if they could give you as a player, if they could give you $100 million a year, then how much money are they making?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
and so you cultivate that gift and you teach them that it's more to it than what you're looking at. Taking them to different places, introducing them to different people, and negotiate some of that in the contracts with the schools that you put them in. Okay, well, I'll send my kid to this school, but
Mhm.
in return, I need you to set up 6 different schedules for my kid to go and visit different colleges of my choice.
Mhm.
And we have that right to negotiate those kind of things, and sometimes we don't. And that's how you cultivate that. I don't want my son just to be a basketball player. You know,
Mhm.
um, give me something else too to add to that. You know, so I mean,
Mhm.
whatever they want to be, I learned let them be whatever they want to be. If you're gonna be garbage man, be the best there is. Let people around the world know who you are throwing garbage.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
You know.
And from Mississippi, talk to me.
Yeah, I agree with what everybody says,
Mhm.
and I understand that all children are not college material. I understand that. However, I just me being me and have lived my life. My grandkids coming up right now. I just have so much and so many great expectations for them. I just want them to be the best they can be and not settle. You don't have to settle when you can be great. You can be amazing. You could own some things. You don't have to just settle for a a, a regular job.
Mhm.
And I just want, and I know that every parent probably feels the way I feel. You want your children to be, to be the best.
Mhm.
I just push mine, to be the best, and my children, um, they do what they do. They all have great positions, but I just want my grandbabies to have the best.
Mhm. Mhm.
And you can have anything that you set your mind to.
Absolutely.
Anything that you put before you, if you apply yourself and you are consistent and you are motivated, and every day you get up when you don't even want to get up, and you go to that thing and you make, you plan it out, you can have and you can be anything you want to be in life.
Yeah.
And that's just what I just pray that our children will understand. As a parent, we're gonna love them as a parent or
Mhm.
grandparent, no matter where they are or what they do. But we just want them to be, great. I
Mhm.
want my grandbabies to be great. I want them to be wonderful people. I want them to be, doctors and lawyers. I would love for them to be that. Would love for them to be that. They go in different directions. They are
Mhm.
professional careers. They're great careers. But I would love for them to be the best,
Mhm.
because that's just who I am,
Yeah.
and that's just what parents and grandparents do. You want the best because you do want to say, "Here's my granddaughter. She's a doctor." You do want to. You do want to say, "Here's my grandson. Oh, guess what? And he's a lawyer. He passed the bar." That would be wonderful. That would be wonderful to say. So I don't know. Everyone's different. I just want them to know that it's nothing that you cannot be in this
Mhm.
world. I don't care about your skin color. I don't care about none of your background. You can do and you can be whatever you apply yourself to. If you put it before you,
Yeah.
and you make up your mind that you're going to do it, it'll happen. If
Mhm.
you believe in yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Badger, if the child is being pushed to be a doctor, attorney, engineer, or something of that nature, and they let it be known that I want to be a garbage man. I want to be on the back of that truck, riding around the city early in the morning and picking up that trash and cleaning up the neighborhood. Should the parent allow them to do that, or should they push them in another direction? Cut it out, Dr. J.
I don't see what's wrong with it. And the reason I'm saying that is, sometimes, at least how I feel about the situation,
Mm-hmm.
you know, what's not to say that while they're in that position, they're going to end up doing something great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've told my kids, if you end up doing something that makes a lot of money, don't forget about God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'd rather my kids put God first over money any day.
Mm-hmm. It's good. That's good. And to that point, Rico, I'm gonna take a liberty with you, brother. Is that okay? Rico.
Go ahead.
Okay. Rico was in New York. And this has nothing to do with the job. This has it has something to do with placement, lining up with what Badger just said. He was going to the bar, to a bar to watch the game. That was his intention. I'm going to the bar and I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna watch the game. I'm in New York and I just want to go out there and have that experience. Rico, tell him what happened during that episode.
The guy came up and started striking up a conversation with me. Offered me a drink. He was being hospitable. I guess, being hospitable.
Mm-hmm.
Something I wasn't used to in New York. But eventually, after he kept on forcing conversation, he revealed that he had just went through a traumatic experience. He had just walked in on his girlfriend. Walked in on her in front of that. And she broke up with him. He started crying. You see tears coming up in his eyes. I was like, oh, man, wait a minute. He needs somebody to talk to. He really going through it at this point in time. And as he was telling me what he was going through, I left away mentally from the game and immediately put myself in his shoes. I was visualizing what he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me that the woman was the reason why he had recovered. He had gone sober. He had a real bad cocaine habit. And actually, that was part of the way he started out the conversation. He asked me if I had ever did certain type of drugs, and that I was in Cocaine Central in New York. If I wanted to get some cocaine, that was the place to get it. It was the hood.
Mm-hmm.
But he was thinking about relapsing and then killing himself. And this conversation went on so long that the game might have been gone off about 2 hours before I even realized that it was a game.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even realize the game had been on.
Exactly.
By the time we finished talking,
yep.
But I accidentally talked him out of committing suicide, and I didn't even know that's what I was doing at that point in time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's and that goes, and people might say, well, Raheem, why you wanted to share that story? Because that goes right along with what Badger just said. On Back of the Truck, you never know what situation you could be placed in. You could be placed in a situation where you could come and change somebody's life, save somebody's life. Rico didn't have any idea when he was going to that bar that he was going to save somebody's life and stop somebody from killing themselves. It's just placement. Placement. Cassandra, talk to me. Leonard, come to you next, brother.
Yeah, I just, everybody has to, choose how they raise their children and how they, work with their grandchildren as far as what their goals are. I'm all for encouraging your children to be the best and your grandchildren to be the best. But pushing and, I think some people really overdo it. And when I would talk to the parents of these kids that were having mental health issues, they were like, well, this is what we require. This is what our culture requires. And
yep. Come on, Cassandra.
I get it. It's their culture or whatever, but some things are just, everybody can't take the same pressure. I'm trying to make it simple. Everybody cannot take the same amount of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see that your child is having an issue adapting to what you're trying to back off or get them some help or something. Just don't keep pushing and the child is falling apart and you still, well, this is what you're going to do. And what the heck? Mm-hmm. And these kids start having mental disorders. So it goes from, it literally goes from them, struggling in school or something, into having full-blown mental illness issues, because you expecting them to do something that they are not capable within themselves to do.
Yeah.
Don't do that. That's not fair.
Exactly.
That's not fair. You know, I'm just.
And I don't think when they're trying to do something like that, Cassandra, I don't think they're taking their children's best thing into account for the best interest of the child and where the child.
No, it's about their interest. They want to be able to say, like Annie said, my daughter is a doctor, or my son is an attorney, and that's great. Mm-hmm. I mean, congratulations. I honor whatever accomplishments their children do. Just don't do that. Yeah. Mental illness is a real thing. Mental health is a real thing.
Absolutely.
And you can be causing more damage. And sometimes these kids never come back from it. Let me just be plain about that. Once they get into those illnesses, mental health issues, they don't recover.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't.
Exactly. Leonard, talk to me, brother. And I do understand, you want to push your children in a certain way. I do understand that. I'm not so gullible to not understand that you want to push your children, but children have to take into account your child and look at that child and look at the person that you're trying to push into something and take that into account. Leonard?
Well, I'm just listening because I'm like I said before. It doesn't matter to me what you do. You can do whatever you want. I'm a person who has never had anyone in my life make me do anything. I left home as soon as I was of age. No one. I've never been in a situation where I wouldn't do what I wanted to do.
Let me ask you this question.
Now, if you don't want to be nothing or do nothing, I'm not messing with you.
Let me ask you this. Is that, because I've heard you say that a couple of times, is that a good thing or a bad thing that you never had anybody to tell you what to do? Is that a good, do you view that as being a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, it definitely keeps me safe and secure and responsible and accountable for my actions. And I don't sit around blaming something on poor thing, you had to become a doctor. Why should I feel bad for you? Why? So, you're an engineer. You're able to feed your family and do all these things. Why should I feel bad for you?
Oh, we're just looking at the monetary side of it? Oh, we're just looking at the monetary side of it?
Go ahead, say it again. I couldn't hear you.
We just grasping onto the monetary side of it? You're a doctor. Are we just looking at the monetary side, or are we looking at the whole person? Or because if we're looking at the whole person, and if this person is able to do the things that you said they're able to do, provide for their family, do all these different things monetarily, but they're miserable inside to the core of them, does that make a difference? I'd say it does.
First of all, the miserable part, I believe, is a personal problem. Like you said, you may want to talk to somebody like Miss Cassandra or what have you, because honestly, I don't have any feelings for those type of people. How could you hate people that want you to be? How could you be against someone that wants you to be successful, that wants you to do your best, that wants you to have the best, that wants you to live life of an abundance? Why would you fight against that? I don't understand.
Because this person,
I don't understand. Why?
Because this person is not taking into account.
Down upon.
This person is not taking into account what I want for me. You can't just push what you want for me to be.
That's your job.
Okay, but that doesn't change it though, because you saying that how could you do this? How could you dislike or be angry with somebody that want the best for you? But if they're not taking into account what I want for me, and they're just infringing on me what they want me to be because of the fact, yes, thank you, I appreciate the fact that you care for me in that way, but I have to do what's best for me, and this is what I'm going to do with my life.
But to me, there's something missing in the conversation.
What is it?
For the very simple fact that I don't even know why I would have that conversation with someone else.
Mm. So
why would I sit there and go back and forth with my parents?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand that part of this, unless I needed something from them.
It happens every day, Leonard. Like I said, you didn't see what you said. What you said is this, Leonard. You said, I have never had anybody to ever tell me what to do. You also said, you had the freedom to do and make the decisions or the mistakes that you made in your life, and they will come back. You'll learn from that. Okay, not everybody have that. Not everybody's in that situation. Not everybody's in that situation.
Because that's what I'm missing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why other people don't have that.
Because they don't. Some people, listen. My thing is this: they don't, because of the fact that some parents are so overwhelming and so take charge type individuals, even in their children's lives. They will not allow their children to have the freedom to make their own decisions. Everything have to be. This is what I want.
I got you now, because when I was a child, I spake as a child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but when I became a man, I put away those childish things.
But there's a transition in the middle, brother, and that's the part where the problem lies. That transition in the middle.
Well, I'm just on the part of, and we cut the cord.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cut it.
Sometimes you have to.
You're an adult.
Sometimes you have to, and sometimes that's better for the child. Sometimes that's better for the child if you do, because now the child has the freedom to live their life the way that they want to live their life. Rico, talk to me, brother.
It's called a documentary on Gaia. I think I told y'all about it once before, called Love Over Money.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody should see this, because this is one of those stories of a person that came from affluence and they sacrificed it all just because they wanted to have a proper relationship with their father that wasn't built on pressure and success. This guy, his father was the founder and owner of Baskin Robbins ice cream. So, he grew up in the lap of luxury.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of these people that was in the 1%. His father was in a circle of people that really had power beyond what the government could have. And he witnessed this.
Mm-hmm.
And he liked some of it, but some of it he didn't, because his father had lost empathy. The only thing he knew about was success, and he wanted his son to follow in the footsteps. Well, at first his son did want to follow in his footsteps until he seen that his father couldn't give him the father that he wanted. So as a youth, he had to hold it in and refrain himself. He had to get his nurturing and fill all his buns with nannies. Then he didn't have no type of intimate relationship with his father.
Mm-hmm.
But his father not only encouraged him to go into family business, but he pressured him. And in the process of him going into this business, he had to take on a certain thought process.
Mm-hmm.
He had to just receive his entitlement and his privilege.
Yeah.
He didn't want to do that. He didn't want to go to Harvard and Princeton. He wanted to go to UC Berkeley, a college that had a diverse population. He was one of them type of people that would have said, you know what, I want to take the year off and I want to go to Mississippi and register black people to vote, because that's who this guy was. He marched with Martin Luther King. He was more about humanity and society. And his father was all about business. And he was so much into humanity that he began to write books of how to get closer to God and about being righteous. His father didn't even want to hear that. But he also wanted to make his father proud. So he was under a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
His daddy didn't compromise. So he had to sacrifice his inheritance. I think his first wife left him because they went and lived in the woods up in Canada. and he lived on his own. He did exactly what Lila said. He broke away from it. But he still never got away from the fact that he just wanted to have a regular relationship with his father. And to get that type of love from his father that a father and a son should have, especially with them being in the same household, that bond. Well, anyway, the father didn't really come around and realize all of his mistakes till right before he died. And he wrote a book. And when his father got sick with cancer and started getting older and going through all these things, he, over the time, he demeaned his son. He was ashamed of him because of the fact that he didn't continue on in the family business and become successful or do something equivalent. You know, there's a lot of pressure for a child to live up to their father's shoes, like LeBron James' kids and Michael Jordan's kids. It's hard to live up to your parents' stature. But he ended up coming around, and every time his father was sick, he was needing these doctors that he looked up to, because the doctors could do something that he couldn't do because of all the money he made. The doctors could treat him for his illnesses. And some of these same doctors was recommending a book to him that he should read to get his life right and to get his spirit right. And little did he know that the books that they were recommending to him were the books that his son wrote.
Wow.
The same son that he didn't really want him to do the things that he was doing. He was needing to read these books just to get some life advice for himself. You know, so I agree with what everybody said about, you know, letting the child do what they want to do. But I saw a video where a little girl in kindergarten stood up in front of the whole audience and said she wanted to be a stripper.
No.
So, you know, we got to actually, when we say these things, we just can't throw it out there and make it so absolute. Oh, you should support anything the child want to do. You know, what if the child say, well, you know what, I don't want to go to school no more. But now, I'm going to say this, I have seen in Black families, especially with males, we do tend to have a lot of young Black boys that are being forced to go into sports at a very young age because of their parents trying to attain a greatness that they didn't attain when they were young. And I'm seeing success from it, but I'm also seeing a lot of chaos from it because those children didn't have the same support system when they got home. They were conflicted with what they were influenced with. But I was concerned with that thin line between encouragement, influence, and pressure.
Absolutely. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Let me go to somebody just came in. Let me see who just came in. Curtis, good morning, sir. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, right here. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on with you, man? I know you're still jumping up and down because of the beatdown yesterday, but we'll talk about that later. We talking about children and how parents sometimes could jump into child's life and try to determine the course of that child's life. You have to be a doctor. You have to be an attorney. You're going to be an engineer. And I'm asking the question, do we put too much pressure on our children to be successful?
To be what?
Successful.
Successful?
Yes. Doctors, lawyers, attorney, whatever the case.
Yeah. We infamous for trying to live our dreams through the eyes of our children. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't do, so you better do. I'm going to make sure that you're able to do. Along with the same while, you might be stunting that kid's true growth and potential. Yeah, we do it all the time.
Because I asked the question, I see if a parent is a mother or father or whatever is pushing their child to be a doctor or attorney or engineer or whatever, and they sit down and have a conversation at the dinner table one evening, and that child said, listen, I don't want to do that. I just want to be a garbage collector. I want to be on the back of the garbage truck, and I want to be able to beautify the neighborhood, picking up all that garbage. and taking it where it's supposed to be, getting it off the streets? How should that child be looked upon at that moment?
As if they, okay, this kid really done gave this some thought.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it should be supported.
Mm-hmm.
It should be supported. That ain't a job you got to go to college for. Oh Lord, he's saving me some money.
Lord. So good. So good. You're looking at it. You're looking at it through the monetary. You look at it. Okay. All right. Go ahead on.
That means that later on he might go to college to become a world-renowned environmental engineer.
Mm-hmm. 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 So, so you're gonna flag the garbage truck down next time and kill the hey. Hey, look at him. Hey, look at him. Hey. My boy here want to do what y'all do. Hey, look at him, man. Where he apply?
Get on the phone and call in a favor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Call your local congressman. Yeah. Look at here. I got a boy. Throw them cans, boy. Throw them cans. Ain't nobody ever throw them cans like my son gonna throw them cans. Boy, y'all better get y'all.
Man, you know how much a garbage man? You know how much a garbage man make in New York?
How much?
$90,000 a year.
Mm-hmm. Look here. Sign them up. $90,000 a year, and you sitting on my couch. There's some trash out there need to be picked up, boy. Go ahead, Curtis. Go ahead, man.
Man, I'm dead, sir.
I know you are.
Well, you know that's something that I've always instilled in my boys. Look, man, do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let me, your mama, your grandmama, your granddaddy, your brother, your cousins. Don't let nobody determine what you're going to do with the rest of your life other than you.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
You got to live with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like my boy chose to go to Coastal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let that be your choice, son. It's time for you to make an adult decision. Let that be your choice. Don't let that choice be influenced by anybody else other than you.
Good deal.
Because none of us have to go to that school.
Mm-hmm.
You do.
Exactly. Tucson, talk to me, brother.
Ryan,
yes.
1 second before you go any further.
Okay.
With this question, because I see the direction everybody's going in, I want to throw in the part that what if you recognize that this child has an extreme streak of laziness, and you realize that they're underachieving, and you know they have more potential, but they're just taking the easiest path.
That's another thing. Absolutely. Tucson, talk to me. If the boy just lazy, don't want to do nothing, don't want to take the easy way out. Boy, got all the potential in the world. All the potential in the world. Yeah, still he talking about he want to be a garbage man. Boy, you could be head of the medical department over there. You just apply yourself. What's wrong with you talking about you want to throw some trash on back of a truck? Tucson, talk to me.
Son, what you want to be when you grow up? Nothing. What you gonna do then? I just want to hang out.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now, you know what a doctor goes through? I don't know why we think that's on the top of the food chain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because doctors lose patients. Lawyers, clients go to jail for the rest of their life.
Mm-hmm.
Or they put them in jail for the rest of their life. They don't win cases all the time. A lot of them lose cases. That's why they drank so much, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Come on.
Drunk lawyer. What's your son? Oh, he's a drunk lawyer.
Lord.
He's an alcoholic lawyer
Mm-hmm.
or alcoholic doctor. He's a doctor, but he's on prescription drugs. He's a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Living in that big old house and no furniture.
Good Lord. No furniture.
Because he can't handle the last patient that he could not revive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Pressure. Yeah. Truth.
Got a lawsuit against him, malpractice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my daughter's a brain surgeon, and they sued her for everything she got. So when you think about these high paying, high desiring jobs, there's consequences for even that.
Mm-hmm.
So how about just be the best you can be?
Yeah.
Be the best you
Mm-hmm.
can be. Whatever you choose to do, be the best at it. Now you're gonna have to have some aspiration. Is that a good word?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So now we can strive to be a garbage man.
Mm-hmm.
You got to ask the garbage man how he feel about that. So it's not a belittling job, because some people want to work at McDonald's or Burger King or the Waffle House.
Mm-hmm.
But they're the district manager.
Yeah.
A regional manager.
Mm-hmm.
Started out washing dishes.
Mm-hmm.
Being the best they can be. With a good mind in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
In the kitchen because they're going to school
to
do something better. I mean, just do the best you can.
Exactly.
I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you what you're not going to do. You're not going to do nothing.
Not going to sit on my couch.
I tell you what, I come to the house one time and they turned the air conditioner down because they was hot, had it on 65. Freezing in the house.
Yeah.
It was hot out. It's hot outside. Refrigerator, they drink everything in the refrigerator. Water, soda, Coke, Sprite, juice, orange juice,
everything
grape
gone.
juice, all of it gone. And they hot with the air conditioner and nobody working. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. And the friends come and used to hang me, especially my son. Love him to death. For real, I mean that. And, the oldest one, he's sitting down there. He played good piano and organ and keyboard, but that's all he wanted to do. He was good at it. I pray for the church. They give me a little love off, and I'm good. Son, you're gonna have to find somewhere to put them clothes. Daddy, I don't want to flip no hamburgers. I ain't ask you to flip no hamburgers, but you need a job. You need to go work somewhere, do something. Next thing I know, he said, I didn't think my daddy would do that. I took all his clothes out of the closet and out of the drawer and put it at the front door. I didn't put it outside. I put it at the front door. And I told him, you're going to have to find somewhere to put these clothes. He said that he wants to go stay. This is a true story. To help his grandmother with no job, but help his grandmother. I took him over there, shook his hand, and gave him one dime. And I said, son, I hope you make it.
What a pep talk. What a pep talk. Yes, sir.
But I'm wondering right now if, I know he's doing better than me. Because every time I turn around, he's taking a vacation or going somewhere. He's taking, I think the playground for his 6 children is the amusement park. 6 children.
Wow, that's good.
So sometimes this tough love is let them be what they want to, everything but wanting to be nothing.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. That's the phone line. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. You're listening to DKM Media Group and Associates, and this is The Morning Glow. We're here every day, Monday through Friday, from 7 until 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on DKMMediaGroup.com. DKM Media Group. You can find us all over the place too. Go to YouTube, go to TikTok, go to all the place, go to Roku TV, go to DKMMediaGroup.com, the actual website. We're all over the place, man. We're all over the place. So wherever you choose to or select to watch us or listen to us, we definitely appreciate each and every one of you taking the time to hang out with us. All right? Thank you. And make sure you come back. Share the broadcast, share the broadcast. And one more thing I want you to do for me, share the broadcast. Anna from Mississippi, talk to me, sis.
Yeah, I just want to say, people like to equate money with misery. Well, people of garbage can be miserable as well. You know, I know being a doctor is not, you won't be perfect all the time. Won't have no different challenges, come at you. But being broke is misery also. Now, I notice how people do that. People like to say, they like to equate money with misery. Mm-hmm. Like people desire to grow up and to be broke. Who does that? Mm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Who desire to grow up, to graduate high school, to be broke and to struggle? Mm. Who does that? We want our children to go to the very highest that they can go. Mm-hmm. And if they have the potential in them, but they don't see what you see, then our job is to push them. Yeah. Nobody wants to struggle from day to day. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to live from paycheck to paycheck. Who wants to do that? Mm. I'm just saying.
Mm. Wow. Okay. Badger, talk to me.
Man. This topic hit me a little harder than I anticipated. Mm-hmm. Because I was also sitting here thinking about the siblings, the ones that have struggles, just being told that all they'll ever amount to is to flip a burger. Meanwhile, their sibling gets a ton of attention and money thrown at them and all these opportunities. Mm-hmm. And that's something else that I've noticed in our society, because it ain't just one group of people. It's a multi-group facet. Mm-hmm. It's almost like there are a lot of parents that want it easy. They want that gifted kid that they don't really have to put a lot of effort into. Mm-hmm. And it's looking at things, even talking about, being a garbage truck person and things of that nature. And
Come on.
Well, I'm trying to make sure I don't say anything rude. Mm-hmm. So,
say it, man. Say it.
It's, to me, a lot of things that I'm hearing. I mean, you don't want to sit there and just let your kid do nothing. Mm-hmm. In the sense of, just not where they. Not sure how to explain that. I'll go this way. Where they just rely on other people for the rest of their life. Mm-hmm. That's a dangerous thing, especially in our society. You've got to at least help them be able to have some way to be able to take care of themselves. Mm-hmm. And if they want a family, be able to do that. I'm just not a big proponent of our society already has enough folks that enjoy the deadly sin of greed, one of the 7 deadly sins. I don't want my kids to be. I don't want to see kids brought up with that and to be accepting of it. You know, and I feel that that's a very dangerous line to walk when it comes to that. But our society is built on it.
Yep.
So, I have a different approach on a lot of things because I really hope that if my kids get to where they make a whole bunch of money, they're going to be putting it back into the community, helping veterans, helping other kids, and things like that to help them. That's what I'd do.
Exactly.
If an opportunity ever arose where I could be like a very rich person and be able to just have $1 million to live off of because it's in a savings account or whatever, I'd be finding a way to put money out there to do STEM programs and different things like that, things that don't exist anymore. And then we wonder why all these kids aren't educated and things like that. It's our responsibilities of being the older generation to make sure kids have things available to them.
Absolutely.
And it's not like it used to be. And it bothers me so much to think that it is. If you got money to put your kids into all that extra stuff, awesome. Not everyone's in that boat.
Exactly. I'm going to play the clip that I was talking about earlier. This is courtesy of the Cosby Show, but I'm gonna play what the conversation that Cliff and Theo had, and let's take a listen to it and let's see what we think about it. Rico, when we come back, coming to you, then Dr. J coming to you.
Theo? Yo!
Hard to get good help, isn't it? Son, your mother asked me to come up here and kill you.
Hey, I know.
You know what?
What you gonna say? And it's under control. So, no problem.
Right. How do you expect to get into college with grades like this?
No problem.
Huh?
See, I'm not going to college.
Damn right.
I am gonna get through high school and then get a job like regular people.
Regular people?
Yeah, who work in the gas station, drive a bus, something like that.
So what you're saying is your mother and I shouldn't care if you get D's because you don't need good grades to be regular people.
Right.
Okay. Oh, suppose you graduate from high school. Let's say you just slide by. All right, now you got to find a job. Now, what kind of salary do you expect for a regular person?
$250 a week.
$250 a week?
Yeah.
Sit down. I'm going to give you $300 a week. Yes, indeed. $300 a week, $1,200 a month. All right?
Great, I'll take it.
Yes, you will. And I will take $350 for taxes.
Whoa!
Huh? Yeah. Now, because, see, the government comes for the regular people first. Now, how much does that leave you with?
$850.
All right. Now, you've got to have an apartment because you are not going to live here. So, an apartment in Manhattan will run you at least $400 a month.
I'll live in New Jersey.
All right. You live in New Jersey, you've got to have a car.
I ride a motorbike.
You need a helmet. Figure $100 a month for clothes and shoes.
Figure 200. I want to look good.
Okay, so what does that leave you with?
$200. So, no problem.
There is a problem. You haven't eaten yet.
I can get by on bologna and cereal. So, I got everything I need, plus $200 left for the month.
You plan to have a girlfriend?
For sure.
Regular people. Vanessa! Vanessa! Vanessa!
Direct-to-film transfers are easy to master. Simply heat press your transfer on
All right, they went to another thing, and so they didn't get to the part I really wanted to get to. But from what you heard, Rico, what are you hearing in that?
Perfect example. Very good example. A child doesn't know what an adult knows, especially when it comes to responsibility. The child doesn't realize that even though you might not like to clean up your room, and even though you might not want to make an effort in school, you might like this lifestyle that you live in. You might be in a real comfortable situation. You might like this neighborhood that you live in. You know, you might like the cars that we drive you to school and drop you off in. All the access, all the things that you have access to. I'm pretty sure you like it, you're comfortable with it, and you're accustomed to it. Well, the responsible side of this is that you got to be able to afford this lifestyle. If you're not careful, you won't be able to live this comfortably. You're going to struggle. You're going to live in a manner that's less than this, and you ain't going to be happy with it. You're going to live in a situation where you won't be able to clean up because your whole environment is junky. Because you underachieve. So, that's the prime example of a parent encouraging a child, pushing a child to go into the right direction so they can be prepared to take care of themselves or provide for themselves in a proper way in the future. That's what it's all about. It's preparing for the future.
Exactly.
Being able to survive, not only survive, but to live comfortably to the standard that you're used to maintain that standard that you're used to. Everybody doesn't get to take family vacations every summer or even twice a year. But you think you're going to be able to take family vacations the way we've been doing? You think you're going to be able to continue living like this if you're making what you're making? Because, son, I'm a doctor and your mama is an attorney. And we still can only afford to do so much. Yeah, we can provide for y'all to be able to go to college. Hopefully that's what you plan on doing. Because that's what we did to be able to provide this lifestyle for you. I know you're going to have children one day. That's going to be expensive. I know you're going to want those children to participate in activities. That's going to be expensive. So, son, you need to prepare yourself because just doing what you want to do, doing the least, being lazy, not really making an effort to be better at what you have the potential to be better at, is going to end up being a detriment to you in the long run. So I think that was a good example, that clip you played, because it really shows the maturity of an adult compared to the immaturity of a child or somebody in adolescence, and the reason why a parent does have to know how to approach that. Like I said earlier, there's a thin line between encouragement and pressure. Now, say for instance, Theo was doing great in school, and he wanted to be a scientist.
Mm-hmm.
But Bill said, you know what? I don't want you to be a scientist. I want you to be an attorney. I want you to fall into the family practice, even though Bill was an attorney. But, you know, the reason why I said that, because I know in some situations where you have a father that's an attorney, then all the children went into the father's footsteps, and all of them stepped crooked.
Exactly.
So what if they really didn't want to be attorneys at first? Maybe they just did it because they saw the success or the money in it, you know. So then you really want to encourage a child to reach their full potential and to understand what reaching their full potential, the benefits of it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Dr. J, talk to me.
From my perspective, just we all had a potential to be successful. We all have the potential to be wealthy, rich, however you want to define it. We don't all choose to make that choice. As a father and a minister of the gospel, my responsibility is to teach people their potential, right? You cannot grow people beyond, you can't grow people beyond your lack of understandings. So I had to educate myself so that I could educate others, especially my children and my grandchildren. And you got a lot of people, poor people with rich mentalities and rich people with poor mentalities. And somewhere down the line, you got to help them balance that out, right? Me, myself, I don't believe in excuses because of the things I had to overcome and because of the people that I know that overcame certain things. And this might sound a little harsh, but it's my way of thinking. Being poor is a choice. Now, when I say that, I'm talking about we have to, we growing up, I had a brother who had a problem with my dad. And I had to tell him, listen, man, we grown now. At some point, you got to let this go. You're a grown man now. Okay, he didn't do this and he didn't do that. Now you got to make a decision. And when I say being poor is a choice, this is what I mean, Raheem. As a man, your responsibility and my responsibility is not to complain about our lifestyles. Do something about it, right? Especially when you have a family. At some point when you have a family, no matter what it is you do, you need to go out and make something happen for your family as a man, right? I like what Anna from Mississippi said. Who wakes up? Who grew up their whole life wishing to be poor and broke? Nobody. But are you willing to put in the work? And then you got to change the company that you deal with. When I wanted my life to change, I had to get around people who were smarter, people who knew how to do things. And I had to, you know, it's good to keep people around you that make you feel intimidated. They create a hunger in you. So I do that same thing with my grandkids. There are certain things I let my grandkids see about me. There are certain ways I dress. There are certain things I drive. There are certain things I do. I'm creating an appetite in them, you know, and I make education available for them. I participate in different things when it comes to them having. So, okay, here's $100. You read this book.
Yeah.
Now that could be your job. It goes up as you grow up. But if you decide you don't want to read this book, no problem. You just got fired. You go to McDonald's and get you a job. So my children, well, my kids grown, they on their own. My grandchildren, that's part of my responsibility, not my whole responsibility, because I'm not their daddy. I'm their grandfather. I'm not taking my son and my daughter's ministry from them. That's your baby. You made it. You handle that. I'll take over when I feel like it, if I feel like it. And I'm not gonna lie to you. If I feel like it and when I feel like it, I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you I got something to do.
Yep.
I'm not gonna tell you I don't have the money. Nope, that's not my business. That's not my responsibility. I'm gonna make sure certain things are there as a grandparent because I choose to, not because I have to.
Yes.
And I feel like I, in my life, eliminate excuses. If you're going to be poor and broke or stupid, that's going to be your choice. You are not going to put that on me. And sometimes it seems hard, but my mom used to tell my brother something. She said, if you think I'm hard, wait till you get down there and them folks deal with you in that jailhouse or that prison.
Yeah.
And we gotta people, our parents and our grandparents, man, they did the jobs that we wouldn't do. And they took those jobs and they made those jobs businesses and they provided for us. They did the things that needs to be done. Now we say what we don't want to do. We say what we're not going to do. And our children adapted to that same mentality. But we got to go back to saying, okay, with my grandkids, I'm going to pick you up in a nice car. I want you to see how the seat feel and this and that. That's my way of creating an appetite in them. You know?
Good deal.
Yeah. And get you some education.
Exactly.
Everybody wears different.
Absolutely. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Yeah. I never believed that being broke is a good thing. I don't know. Maybe people will do. Not at least striving to try to be. Okay. I've been in a position where I've had money and it was great. It was good because you can go and buy what you want. And then I've been where I've been homeless. And I would choose to have money over being homeless. But at this point, and well, most of my life, it was never about money for me. And that, listen, it's according to who you are and what your mission is in life. For me, even when I had money, I spent a lot of money doing ministry because that's what please, that's what I was called to do. So my money would go, my ex-husband would say, girl, you work so that you can help other people. And he was good with that. So we were good. But I don't want people to think that that's all life is about. Your children making money and not having to. I don't know. I'm different. I'm weird. I'll be the first one to tell anybody I'm weird. But I don't believe that life is all about getting the bag, as the kids say, and making the money. I love when people have money. I'm proud of our young people when they're successful. But I've seen more miserable people with money than I've seen happy people. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I've seen more miserable people with all the money that they could ever want. And those are the ones calling me. They're making 6 figures or more. And they're calling me because they're miserable. I can't. I don't understand. I thought that when I got here, I would be, because that's not what makes people successful or happy. And I'm going to say this. This is my last thing I'm going to say, Raheem. I remember years ago when I was with my daughter, who I know she was living millionaire status at that time, and I knew that she looked at me like, okay, all my mom do is help people. She's running this help women with domestic violence, and she's doing this and she's doing that, but she don't have any money. So we were riding in a car about to get on Interstate 20 at Campbell Road. And the Spirit of the Lord told me, tell your daughter that you are successful. And I was like, no, God, because I know she's looking down on me right now because I don't have the kind of money she got and I don't have the things that she had. The Holy Spirit said, tell your daughter that you are successful. And so we were getting on there and I said, do you know that I'm successful? And she gave me this look that I knew. She was like, what? You know, you don't have this, that, the other, and all of this stuff. And I was waiting for the Holy Spirit to say something. And out of my mouth came, I'm not successful because of what I have. I'm successful because I obey God. When I said that, I felt my car, the Spirit of God, fill my car. Success is based on you doing what God has told you to do.
Come on.
Money is good, put it in there with it. But success is when true joy and success is when you are obedient to God. I don't care if you ain't got but $5 in the bank. If you're doing what God has told you to do, your joy is full. Come on now. I ain't talking about nobody else. I'm just talking about me.
Yes, that's good. That's good.
That's it.
And that's what it is. And that's what it is. But look here. I'm a little sad right now. I'm a little sad. And I'm gonna tell you why. K with an E.
I'm here. I had to get out from you. I was on another call.
Good morning.
What you saying for?
Good morning, young lady.
Saying for?
Man, that whooping y'all. I ain't never seen nobody took no whooping like y'all. Y'all took a whooping yesterday. That was a whooping.
But look, y'all, guess what? I slept through it. I woke up at halftime. So when I woke up in time to see a touchdown, and I was okay with that.
but look here. But K with an E.
I went to church and got fed real good. Okay.
But K with an E, they look here. They didn't beat y'all. They whooped y'all behind. They whooped y'all.
They demolished the Chiefs.
You told me y'all gonna be three-peat. You told me we're gonna be a three-peat.
I told you about it. They demolished them.
They
showed me a whole new game.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. But that defense won't let up off y'all, boy. Patrick Mahomes said, "What in the world is going on? Why they get to play with 22 people? We only got 11."
They was okay.
Why they get 22 people?
They took that. They turned the other cheek, and they turned your other cheek, and everybody else.
Yes, look here. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. But Kay, we're talking about children. And do we as parents put too much pressure on our children to be successful? Do we to be doctors or attorneys and lawyers and engineers and all these different things? Do we put too much pressure on our children to be successful?
I don't think we put enough.
Explain that to me.
Because children get to do whatever. Like my daughter just now 40, talking about she don't want to hear no rap music no more. But when I was bringing them up, they couldn't rap Killer Tay's music. When they met Killer Tay in person, they said, "My mama, we almost lost our grill rapping your music." Killer Tay right now today love me. If he see me, he gonna speak to me because they couldn't rap his music. I would smack them in their mouth. They would swallow their teeth, their tongue, and their gum.
Good Lord!
You rapping what? You ain't rapping that. When they met him, they was grown. They was so happy. He laughed so hard. Because they couldn't do it. No. You better go up and do something different. That's what you're not going to do, though. I didn't play that, and I still don't play it. I have grandkids right now today. Get out of here with that. Go. They got to stay at home. Their mom is built for this 20, whatever they want to call them kids, these kids. I ain't built for it. You're going to lose your grill. You're going to have a black eye. You're going to be mad. I catch the wrong finger up, it's going to be bent. Break some soap in your mouth. All of that in the above. I'm very old school. My mom taught me very well. If I couldn't do it, they couldn't do it. Like she said, you going somewhere them babies can't go, you ain't got no business there.
Yep. That's good. Leonard, talk to me, brother. Captain Leonard.
Well, sometimes I don't be knowing sometimes I'll be wondering what I'm supposed to talk about right here.
We still talking. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna change the topic with you right now, and I want you to listen to the question. It's a little different. It's a different kind of question, but I want you to delve into it for me. All right.
Okay.
Leonard, why do we talk? Why do we talk?
Because it's a great way to communicate.
Why?
Because you have a brain like that gives you that ability to do that.
Okay, but why do we do it?
Because it's the best way to communicate with your feelings about something.
Mm-hmm. Why? Why is that the best way? Animals don't do it. They communicate
Yes,
very
they
well.
do. You just don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
They don't talk to you that way,
Mm-hmm.
but they communicate with you. They just can't speak.
Okay, but why do we talk?
Because if they would, they could.
But why do we talk? Can I point to you?
Move on, Ryan.
Can I, if I want that bottle of apple juice on the counter, can I point to that bottle of apple juice? Can't that let you know exactly what I want? Why do we talk?
Hey, Raheem.
Yeah.
When somebody talking and you feel like you want to hit them in the face, you say move on.
That what it is? Man,
Yeah.
I hit back now. I'm Bruce Leroy. I'm Bruce Leroy.
No, I'm
who's
just saying.
the
I know me. That's one of my triggers.
Good deal. Badger, why do we talk?
Because folks want to.
Why?
It's up to them.
Do we talk to communicate? Do we talk to be heard? Or why do we talk?
I mean, it'd be all of the above. It depends on each individual person.
Mm-hmm.
I've said many times on here, I talk because that's what society accepts.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer just to do things in actions and not speak at all.
There you go. There you
To
go.
be animalistic,
Mm-hmm.
in quotations,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And I mean, there was a point in time in our history when those that were close to God knew exactly what the animals and the earth was saying.
Mm-hmm.
But that was considered taboo and evil.
See, and my thing is this: there is the question is a person. You just put that question out there. It seems very simple. Seems like a very simple, but there's a very deeper question in why do we talk?
Now,
there's a very deep question inside there.
That's where I was about to head.
Go ahead. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Now, if you look at what the word has become versus what the definition is, you can talk and not ever have a sound come out your mouth.
Mm-hmm. So why do we talk?
You didn't catch what I said.
I did, and that's why that's why I asked the question. Why do we talk? If that be the case, what you just said, if that be the case, why do we talk?
No, I was sitting here thinking because I mean God talks to us, so that'd be like questioning God. For me, it's about learning, and to not talk in any way, shape.
Stay right there for a second, Patrick. You said something. You said something. It's about learning. It's about
For
learning.
me, yeah.
Okay. So do you learn from everybody you talk to or that talks to you?
I work very hard to do so, yeah.
But do you?
Yeah. I either learn things to implement into my life to be better, or I learn from those that do negative things and go, well, that's not a good way to be of God, and don't do it.
Have you ever walked away from a conversation and say, man, that dude or that girl, that's a fool. That's a fool right there. Man, ain't no way in the world. That's a fool right there. Now that's a fool.
I work very hard not to talk that way. And those things come out of my mouth from time to time.
So it has happened.
But a lot of time, it has happened, but I also am hard on myself not to talk like that.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. Rico, why do we talk?
To communicate, to relate, and to also teach.
Do we? Okay, that's good. That's good. But Rico, let me ask you this question: Do we talk? Do we talk? Do we talk to communicate, or we talk just to make our point? Sometimes, you could talk to somebody and they'll sit there like they're listening, but they're just waiting for their opportunity to counter what you're saying, so they can make the point that they want to make. I don't think that's a good form of communication if they're not listening.
It depends on the person. I mean, some people do listen just to respond, or they're not even really listening. They're just waiting on you to get finished so they can respond. You know, I have numerous conversations with people or you can tell that they only hear certain words in a sentence, and they don't hear the rest of it.
Yep.
They might hear they might not even hear the simple word unless. And a lot of times when you say unless, that means that you are making a statement, but then you're giving an alternative to why you might hear from that statement. But they'll just stick to the first part.
Yep.
You said this, you said that. Wait a minute, but what about what I said unless? Unless this happens, then I may agree with this. I may do that. So, you know, I communicate to really, like I said, not only teach, but to, you know, understand, to get an understanding, maybe to solve problems. You got to communicate to solve problems, to understand what a problem may be and how to solve it. Yeah, I mean, it's true enough. Some people do only talk just to be heard. But if you're only talking to be heard, then you know you don't want to understand.
Yeah. Let understanding be understood. And from Mississippi, what do you say to that? And why do we talk? Truth of the matter, you know, going deep into this thing, why do we talk? What's the purpose?
I came back on because I wanted to say something to Mr. Sandra. Is she still on?
She is.
Mr. Sandra, can you hear me?
Yes, baby.
Okay, what's your cash app?
Money sign WOWWGOD.
Money sign WWW.
No, WOWW.
WOWWGOD. Okay, all right. I just read the thing on social media, and I just want to come back and bless you. I didn't call back in to answer the question, Raheem, but what did you ask me?
Why do we talk?
Why do we talk?
Why do we talk? Yeah, what is the purpose of talking? Why do we talk? What's the purpose of it? Why do we do it?
To get our point across, like somebody said earlier, to communicate.
Okay, to get our point across. So what about the other person's point? What if their point counteracts or counters the point that we're trying to make? Are we willing to use this thing called communication to get to a certain point or a certain meeting point in the middle? Or do we just want to make our points?
It all depends. I mean, I talk to hear. I want to communicate. I want to listen, but I want to get my point across as well. So, you know, I don't know, Raheem. Okay, I'm trying to type in something.
Okay, but
I'm typing something here up.
Okay. Gotcha. But see, it's
okay,
a lot.
I apologize.
There's a there's a deep question in why do we talk? There's a very deep question inside. In the surface is shallow, but it's a real deep question in there too. Toussaint, what do you say to that? Toussaint, why do we talk?
I was trying to type up my reasoning. So talking is a privileged form of communication based on our geographic location and audience. That's my definition of why we talk. It's a privileged form of communicating based on our geographic location and audience. I wrote that up myself. That ain't too bright, but it sounds good to me.
It sounds real good, bro.
Let me tell you why I say that. Let me tell you why I say that. Suppose you're in the crowd and you're the only one that speaks English. Talking won't do you no good. You're in the wrong area.
Yeah.
You're in Japan speaking English. And nobody understands a word you saying and you lost. Or you trying to get something done. So talking ain't gonna do you no good. You do better if you knew sign language.
It's almost like a waste of time.
You do better.
It's almost like a waste of time.
Yeah, it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody else around them that speaks Chinese, they understand one another. So it's a form of communication that helps them to get where they're going or do what they want to do or get somebody to help them or they can help somebody. that privilege, because some people can't talk. It's a privilege
exactly.
that we've been given, so we should take advantage of it. We shouldn't talk just to hear ourselves. Because I say this all the time. I'm just talking because my mouth open. A lot of people do that.
Yeah,
they talk because their mouth open.
Exactly.
Talking loud and saying nothing.
Ain't saying nothing.
And we do a lot of that. Yeah. So I mean, how can I get something done? And who can I communicate to help me, or I can help them to see? We just miss a perfect opportunity to see the reason why we say something. We may have missed it, but just because of what was said, somebody got it and reached out and did something about it. And we don't have to go into detail.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, I know exactly what you mean.
But we talk for reasons. We talk for reasons. And some people here, not to make themselves look good or make you look a certain way. It is what it is. There's a privilege that God gives us so that we can, matter of fact, I want to almost say before I shut up, to help us edify one another.
Wow, that's good.
I'll leave it there.
Good deal. Cassandra Alexander Green, I need to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Why do we talk? Getting way beneath or below the surface. Why do we talk? Let's go deep into this thing, Cassandra. Why do we?
I don't know. I can't go deep on it. Look, I'm with everybody else here. Whatever they say, that's my answer. No, it's a form of communication, and what Toussaint said, edification. We use it. Hopefully, we use our talking to edify, to bring wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So I'm just surface. I don't know the deep part. So I don't know the deep part. I'm not deep today. I don't know the deep. So I don't know the deep part. But no, the only thing I know is we use it as a form of communicating. And Toussaint, just so you know, the language, being wherever you are in the world now, is a simple thing. My daughter just gave me some earplugs thing a couple of weeks ago when she was in town, and it interprets 130 languages. So I can talk to people in Africa or wherever. So we can communicate now with no matter where we are, who we talking to.
Wow, that's good.
Give me. I don't have that device. Give it to me.
But no, I will not.
Toussaint, she fought you on that one. No, I will not. She fought you on that one.
It ain't free, I bet you that.
She fought you. She fought harder. She fought harder than the Philadelphia Eagles last night. She fought harder than that.
That wasn't much fight.
No, they fought. The other team just didn't fight. Kansas City didn't fight. Kansas City just laid over. Dr. J, going deeper, brother.
Yes, sir.
Why do we talk?
Communication.
Why?
For one, to create. I talk to create my world. My world is not created through my finances, through anything other than first my thoughts, then my words. My words are very important. And I've learned that my world is created by what I say. And not only that, my vocal cords give me the opportunity to communicate with my God. Even if my voice was taken away, thank God that my spirit man can speak to my God. Um, that's what he has given me, to be able to communicate with him, and not just to ask and to think, but more than anything, the most important thing is to give him glory. It's to bless his name. So my communication, talking is not limited to my vocal cords.
Can
I'm
you
grateful for that. Go ahead.
can your or do your tears, if you're in a situation where you break down, you just started crying,
Yes, sir. And
can
when
can that communicate more than any words that you could put together?
my tears, when I cry, that is the express image of me communicating with God. Um, that is the times where I have communicated with God, and that is the results of it. Feeling his presence and feeling his glory. And that is the acknowledgement. And he tells us, he bottles up our tears. So that's when you feel God is where he just come in and he holds you at that moment and lets you know that no matter what it is you're dealing with, no matter how things look, he's present. So that's, to me, that's his self-expressing it. That's the result of him expressing himself to me and through me by allowing me to shed tears.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
What do you say to that? Can your tears express communication much more than any words that you could put together?
Can your tears
express better than your words?
No, not all tears ain't real.
No. I'm talking about your tears. I ain't talking about everybody else's now. I'm talking about K with E.
Look, if you make love, it depends though, because if I can cry because I'm happy.
Yes.
I can cry because I'm sad.
Yes.
And I can cry because I'm extremely upset.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm extremely upset. And if I start crying because I'm extremely upset, whoever made me extremely upset is probably in trouble.
Wow.
All the praying in the world ain't gonna stop. That's the worst thing a person could ever do to me. That's a side of me that I don't even fool with.
Let me ask this question, and I don't want to put you in a situation, so I'm not gonna personalize it with you. But if a person is standing somewhere, and somebody have a gun drawn to their forehead, cocked and pressed against their forehead, and they started, and that person with the gun pressed upon their forehead started crying. You can't do anything with that rage at that moment. There's nothing you can do, because you say if you start crying to that point, then whoever made you cry is in trouble. Well, if a person has a gun pointed at your forehead with the trigger, with the cocked back, and you start crying, there's rage in you, but you can't do anything at that moment. What do? How do you react?
My little crazy self gonna kick them right in their gut. I'm gonna kick them so far back, it's gonna go up in the air.
Okay, now
what? I don't know. My flesh gonna definitely kick in. That street skill gonna kick in. All that stuff I put on the shelf to follow Jesus gonna kick in. It's gonna jump off the shelf.
Okay, I was about to say something real clever. I was gonna say, what episode of Tom and Jerry is that? I was gonna say, what episode of Tom and Jerry is that? Because some person got some gun pressed on your forehead. You ain't
episode of Tom and Jerry.
Listen.
Just to say that you kind of somewhat and been in a situation where my kid's daddy did that to me, and he didn't expect the reaction he got. And then he told his sister it was a fake gun. Well, don't play with me like that, because I didn't know it was fake. And he ended up very hurt because that's what I did. I kicked him so hard, like, don't play with me like that. So I know what my little crazy self gonna do, because my reaction, I am not responsible. Okay. I'm forgetting who you are and somebody else. I don't even know who I am at that moment.
Okay.
Because you're jeopardizing my life. I was done like that. And I'm telling you, I kicked their daddy like so hard, like literally. and then I backed it up and I almost took his ear off because I hit him that hard with that pipe. Don't play with me like that. So yeah, I'm just speaking from experience.
Okay.
I was done like that. They daddy did that to me.
See, and I must apologize because I didn't know you was Bruce Lisa. I didn't know you was Bruce Lisa.
I ain't Bruce Lee. It's just
I say Bruce Lisa. No, I say Bruce Lisa.
Black belt.
I got you. Rico, talk to me, brother. You're in that situation, or a person's in that situation, and there's an anger that's involved. There's a rage inside of the person because this gun is pressed on their forehead, cocked back, and there's a rage there. Now, not everybody's going to do like Kay and kick them. What do you do with that rage, Rico?
Give me a scenario again.
The person, I'm not gonna say you because I don't want to personalize this thing. A person is standing there, and they had a dispute with somebody, and the other person took out a pistol, 9mm or something, cocked it back, and pressed it on their forehead, and just held it there and say, "Now what?" Now there's a rage that's born. The person had the gun to their forehead. There's a rage inside of them, and to the point where they started crying out. They just start crying. What do they do? How do you handle that situation? Kay says she kicked him. She kicked him.
I'm not asking her what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, man. Hold on. What's wrong, man? What's wrong?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just don't squeeze that trigger, man. What's going on? I see you crying, brother.
No.
There's gotta be something else going on.
No. You're the one. The person with the gun. Not, I ain't gonna say you. Sorry about that. The person with the gun on their forehead, that's pressed on their forehead, started to cry because there's a rage inside of them because they want to do something to this person, but the gun is stopping them. What do they do?
The person with the rage.
Yeah, the person with the rage with the gun pressed on their forehead. What do they do? Normal situations, a person can get to the point where they're so angry they cry. Outside of that gun situation, they want to get whoever made them mad like this. But the person that made them mad has a gun pressed on their forehead. So what do you do?
Oh, so the person that's crying got the gun in their forehead.
Yes.
Keep on crying and pleading.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they got their back against the wall.
Yes, sir.
You got a gun in your head, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you might be a fraction of a second from being up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta do some pleading.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even if in the back of your mind you say to yourself, "Boy, he let me up out of here. He in trouble."
Yeah.
If this joker let me get away from here, I'm gonna keep moving.
Yes, sir.
You gotta do some pleading.
Yeah. At that moment, absolutely.
Better do some communicate, and you better be real good at it, because they need to understand and hear you. You trying to get away from them.
Mm-hmm.
You trying to get out that situation.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I wanted to say that, and people might say that that's a terrible scenario to put out there, but I wanted to do it that way because I want. And I'm going to go to Leonard. Captain Leonard, coming to you. The importance of communication, man. See, this could be a life or it is a life or death situation, and how you choose to or elect to communicate at that moment could mean rather either you going on with life or you ceasing to exist. And I wanted to say that because somebody want to say something?
Isn't there a situation where like you if you don't have a crisis negotiator, you need to be a crisis negotiator.
Yeah, you better. And so what I wanted to do is express the importance of communication. I started off talking about why do we talk, but I really wanted to get to the point where the importance of communication and how it can make a difference. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
Once again, I like Miss K.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about disarming you. Depends on how you got the drop on me.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt if you walk straight up to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to get to mine.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a shootout. So you would have to catch me off guard. That would be your best chance. But I'm trying to think now, like Miss K said, I'm thinking about disarming you.
So communication is not a part of it?
You know,
communication is not a part of it?
No, I'm not sure. I'm really not that on that line of communication. I'm more of a self-defense person. I'm gonna try to distract you from what it is you're doing to get the upper hand.
How would you distract him without talking to him? And you got to go to the back of your head, or the front of your head.
But like I said, it would depend on how he got the drop on me. He's probably going to shoot me, but we're not going to have a chance to do a lot of talking. So I'm probably going to be shot. So there's not going to be a lot of time in between where we will be having a conversation. Because if we're having a conversation, you don't want to shoot me. And I'm going to take advantage of that.
Okay, good deal. Cassandra, what do you say to that? How important is communication at that moment? Or is it important at all?
If somebody with a gun to my head?
Well, we didn't want to personalize. We say a person. We didn't want to personalize this thing. But if a person had a gun pressed on their forehead, and they're so angry that they start, the person with the gun pressed on their forehead is so angry they start crying, and there's a rage building up inside of them. But they know they can't do anything at that moment because their gun is pressing against their forehead with the with it cocked back. Only thing it needs is 3 pounds of pressure on that trigger, and it's over. 3 pounds of pressure is all it takes to activate that trigger. How important is communication at that moment? Lord,
I'm just gonna prepare to see my God. That's all I listen. I don't know what he planning on doing. He might pull it, but my last word is gonna be Jesus. And I'm gonna be singing me something as he pull the trigger. I'm not. I mean, what do you do? What does the person do under that? Because you at the mercy of that person, unless you know you a Leonard, you gonna beat him down real quick or something. But I whatever he does, I'll be prepared. That's all. I'll be prepared.
Look, that ain't something I know, Miss Cassandra. I'm just telling you what I do. I'm not saying I was gonna win. I'm gonna wind up shot.
When you say you just ain't gonna sit there and let it just happen.
No, we ain't just talking about it.
Yeah. So I don't. Yeah. Huh?
Miss Cassandra, I ain't gonna just stand there neither.
Yeah.
My back was turned and I turned around. You done lost your everlasting mind. Bloop, bloop. I wasn't thinking I could have lost mine, but
that's it. Yeah, I've been in that situation where they didn't have it directly on me, but they pointed a shotgun at me, a white supremacist. Y'all know So I've had that experience, and I freaked out. I'm gonna just be honest. I slammed my door because he had it pointed at my door. Slammed my door and hit the floor. So I'm not no superhero, and I don't try to be. Yeah. My reaction was one that I wanted to live.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's it.
Right. Woo! Jay, talk to me, brother.
Wow, that's deep.
Yes, sir.
I'm like Leonard. Most people that are killed by their attackers, most of the time, it's because they didn't fight back.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, most of the time it's because they didn't fight back. I pray for people who are in that type of situation. And I told you I had a situation similar to that. I didn't know this person. This person just came and say they hated me. And I mean, twice within 30, 60 days or whatever, 2 different people that I had never seen before. And I had to deal with the situation, and it wasn't pretty, but but it's we could say what we will do and won't do, but you never know until you're in that situation, and their instinct kicked in, may kick in, and I ain't got no problem with crying, passing out, whatever the case may be. I mean, you never know. You can say what you do, but at the same time, they think he done shot you and you just done passed out.
But that's a good move. I think that's a good move.
For real. I mean, you fall out like a white woman in a scary movie. Just, you out on the ground. And he mad because he didn't get to shoot you.
You laying on the ground kicking. You laying on the ground kicking. Oh.
For real. I mean, that's my truth. That's all I got to that story, Raheem. He ain't got no fight. Now, I'll throw some hands, but if he gonna get the drop on you like that, what you gonna do? He ain't gonna let you go to your car.
He said, no, he ain't going to the car. Hey, Cassandra, someone else is asking for your cash. I want to make sure I got it right here. It's $WOWWGOD, right? $WOWWGOD, right?
No, WOWWGOD.
Yes. Yeah, okay. I'm sending it to him right now. Okay, there you go. All right. Badger, talk to me, Badger. What's on your heart? What you gonna do?
Probably ask a simple question.
What's that?
Did they send you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a very different approach on this one.
So you ain't gonna fall out like Dr. J. You ain't gonna just fall out.
I mean,
I've
done that to myself.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if it goes off, then it's my time.
Mm-hmm.
If they sent them, I mean, they don't want me around anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, each individual person's going to have their response to it. Not everyone's going to respond the way that I do.
Mm-hmm.
I've been shot. I've done that to myself and lived, and it's probably why I'm so crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you crazy now. Yeah, you
so
crazy. You crazy now.
Now, but in that moment,
mm-hmm.
if God says for me to fight back, I'm going to.
Mm-hmm.
I'd leave it up to God in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm crazy and I'm weird.
Mm-hmm.
I've been through a lot of things in my life. I grew up on the streets, grew up with a sociopath, dealt with narcissists, and the whole 9 yards. I've also helped veterans. So I've had a gun pointed at me helping a veteran one time. Because I was stopping him from taking his own life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's a gun. It is what it is. Our society worships them just like they do money. I'm a firm believer gun are for weak-minded or for weak minds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like guns. I don't own one. And if folks want to own them, that's on them. But that's my view on them.
Good deal. Good deal.
We've created a weak society.
Tucson, what's Tucson outside of passing out like Dr. J gonna do, or kicking them like a K with an E gonna do, or just fighting them and let us say I'm gonna get shot now, but I'm gonna fight them. I'm gonna get shot, or I'm being shot. What you gonna do, Tucson? What would you do in a situation like that, or what should a person do in a situation like that? Because we're not gonna personalize it.
No, I think they're going to do what's best for them at that particular time because that's you can't plan that one.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to take the dump.
Wait a minute now. What you say? What you say, Tucson?
I'm going to need some tissue paper.
I feel proud of myself, Raheem.
normal people sometimes.
Change his mind. He said, poor man, he gonna feel sorry for me. I'm telling you right now. Y'all can talk that now. Y'all talk that now if you want to. Talk about, I don't know if I was in nowhere or my reaction was that fast. I ain't gonna be able to hold it up. I'll be peeing down my leg. All of that.
Tucson, you gonna get shot on yourself.
Tucson.
Esta llamada está siendo traducida y subtitulada en
He's
tiempo real.
gonna be like, I can't shoot that man.
Wow, Donald, whatever you said got someone talking in Spanish now.
No puedo disparar a
What is
este
that?
hombre.
Who that speaking Spanish? Who that?
I don't know. My phone is doing this for some reason. And I don't know how to stop it. That's right.
Tucson.
I'm going to hang up and call back because my phone is reacting to something.
Oh, okay. Hey, look at I understand a little bit what she's saying. I understand a little bit what she's saying, Tucson. She's saying, you need some tissue. She's saying, do you need some tissue?
Say it again.
I understand a little bit what she's saying. She's saying, do you need some tissue?
Wait, let me hang up right here.
Okay.
My phone is doing its own thing.
Okay, all right, good. Curtis McNeil.
Donald is being up to date. He making sure that all the different audience can understand the conversation. This is why we communicate so everybody can understand it. He's just doing it in Latin.
Exactly.
He gonna just lose his bowels.
Kind of like you was practicing speaking in tongues.
Whatever. Y'all talk that knowledge you want to.
The ball went haywire.
Tucson, you're gonna be standing there in front of this person. Tucson, you're gonna be standing there in front of
stop him some way. That's the best way I know. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I thought he said, poor man, I was gonna blow his brains out before I noticed he got a smell to him.
Yeah. Man, what's that? What's that smell?
Like, look here yourself to mess on yourself. We're gonna get you out the way. You took your last out.
Lord. Curtis McNeil, what you gonna do in that situation? And what would a person do in that situation, man? They standing there, and we're talking about a person with a gun pressed on another person's forehead, and they got it's cocked back. The person with the gun on their forehead goes into it like it's like a rage come over them. They just start crying because they feel so helpless in that moment. Now we got a lot of different things that people say they're gonna do. Now Leonard say he's gonna fight back, say he's gonna fight, say he's gonna end up getting shot. Kay says she was gonna drop kick him and do one of them kung fu on him. Dr. Jason, he's just gonna faint. He's just gonna fall out. You know, hey man, hey, is that a gun? He's just gonna faint. And Tucson say all his bowel movements, all his bodily functions gonna lose his control, and he's gonna urinate and let the other side have his way.
Poop the pants.
Yeah. What do you
defecate?
Exactly. What do you think a person would do in that situation? The gun is on their forehead, cocked, and 3 pounds of pressure would activate that trigger. What do they do, Curtis?
What do you say? The guy who holding the gun did?
The guy he holding the gun on the person, and the person with the gun on their forehead they go into a rage because they're so angry and they start crying, and tears just start flowing out their eyes because they're so angry with the fact of them having a gun on their forehead. What did the person do?
I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those, I hope I'm never in that position type of deals.
But you were.
Say again?
But you was in that situation.
I have been in that situation before.
Mm-hmm.
When it was on my forehead, it was in my mouth.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? For me, I didn't move.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I did not move.
Did it paralyze you? Did it paralyze you?
I don't want to say it paralyzed me because I really felt I could still feel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I just didn't move. I couldn't move.
Mm-hmm.
I literally could not move.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my friends who were standing out there, one of my friends said, "Dog, I have never seen that look of fear in a person without there being any kind of movement." Like they laughed at how scared I was, but my friend was like, "Yo, y'all bugging, like for real." Like, yeah, he was scared, but have you ever seen fear without movement?
Mm-hmm.
Like we really got the chance to see fear without movement. Like I didn't move. Now it wasn't pointed at my forehead as much. It was in my mouth.
Wow.
But you really don't know what you will do to you in that moment. Till you in that moment. You know what I mean? I imagine you do a lot of calculations. You know, like I was calculating, you know, like the last time I seen my mama, you know, the last time I seen my grandma, both of my grandmothers, you know, I was stuck, man.
I can imagine, brother. I can imagine. Cassandra, talk to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, we're making. I'm glad y'all making me laugh because I needed to laugh. But you know, that's something to think about. You know what I'm saying? Because that could be your last moments unless God intervenes. And I mean, I know people that have been in that situation. Of course, doing domestic violence. I've had, man, I can't tell you how many women I've had that said that the person put the gun to their head or in their mouth, and you know, all kinds of the trauma.
Yes.
You know, that anything else, and all they did was just cry. You know what I'm saying? They said they just cried basically and waited for it to happen. You know, and maybe he stopped and beat her or whatever, but that stuff is real. There's people that go through that kind of stuff, you know, regularly, especially in abusive situations. That's the main way that the person threatens them, putting a gun to their head or putting a gun in their mouth or threatening to kill your children or something. So I hear that a lot, and that's a serious thing. So I don't, you know, I don't know. I don't even know for real what. You know, like I said, when the guy pointed the shotgun at my door, I just slammed the door, hit the floor, and stayed on the floor all night. I was scared. I'm gonna tell you, I'm a bad girl, but I wasn't bad at that moment. I was on the floor, crying like a baby. So you know, everybody reacts differently to trauma. You know, in situations like that, I don't know what I'd do, to tell you the truth. I mean, if it was right in my face, I don't know what I'd do.
Hey, Cassandra, you say you stayed on the floor. You say you stayed on the floor pretty much all night in that field?
Oh, I stayed on the floor all night.
Wow.
Yeah, I did not move. I was terrified. Even though the person may have been gone, I couldn't move. I was terrified. And I stayed in that one spot. I didn't even try to go to my phone, which was like feet away from me. I just stayed on the floor all night. I don't know. That was a terrifying, you know, situation. So
it had to be.
And it was white supremacist.
Wow.
Raheem, I got a question
what's your question?
For Cassandra and Leonard. Not Leonard. Curtis, I think it was.
Okay.
Do you think when you have been through a situation like that, it wakes something up in you that you never knew existed? I mean, do you think it bring you to a whole nother place of low tolerance to certain things? And I don't know if I'm saying it the right way.
Oh no, that's yeah. For me, yeah. I believe it did. I don't know. I hate bullies. I hate if that's what you mean. It was like, oh no, this is what people. It just made me angry, and angry to the point of wanting to do something. Never seen that happen to somebody else. I don't know whether that's the answer to your question. Kurt might have a better answer.
Curtis?
For me, it just made me realize that I got to get up out of Baltimore. Like, it's time for me to go. Like, really, yeah, it changed my life, all right? Because the whole while I'm saying, I expected to get this from one of these many dudes that's standing out here who don't know me and who trying to rob me. I expected to get that from dudes in the hood. I didn't expect that to get that from the police.
Wow.
Who knew my mom?
Wow.
I mean, I could have went in the other direction. I never told my mama because I know if I told my mama, she would have killed him. So I never told my mama what happened. You know, I remember shortly thereafter, like maybe a week or so later, being at the shop, and he came in to get something to eat. He was talking to my mama like they was the best of friends. And I'm standing right there looking at him. And every so often he'll look over at me with this stupid, I can't say the words, you know. And I'm just standing there looking like, you know, if I could ditch you right now, I would. You know, but it just told me, like, matter of fact, that same week was the week that I asked my mom to sign my paperwork so I could go in the military. But yeah, it changed my scope. You know, like, it made me realize that, you know what, there's an even bigger killer, and it ain't these dudes that's on this block.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Rico, talk to me, brother.
I had to get out that mute, but you know, I was sitting there thinking, man, I like what Dr. J said about passing out. You know what I'm saying? That's sort of funny. But I'm surprised. First off, I'm mainly surprised because, you know, some days I don't tune into the show, but sometimes I listen afterwards. And I hear a very strong religious message most of the time on the show. And it just surprises me to not hear anybody say that they will pray. With all the belief and all the strength and all the passion that comes out with the God and the religious and the Jesus and praying talk, it's just surprising me to hear nobody say that they will pray. I think I came the closest to it when I said that I would plead.
I did.
I plead with that person, but then I'd probably be praying. And you know, I've been in similar situations. It wasn't really in my head, but I was in a life or death situation. And I caught myself praying. But at the same time, I was saying, God, if you get me up out of this, I'm going to get them. I'm going to get them. But I was still talking to God.
Yes.
Get me out of here. And that thing, that awakening, that reality check that kicked in that Dr. J is talking about, that was my introduction to realizing that, man, you ain't invincible. You are vulnerable to mortality.
Yeah.
It made me realize just how precious life is.
Come on.
Because at that moment, I knew then that if anything went wrong, I could be on my last moments of this journey.
Mm-hmm.
So when you appreciate life, that's when you start appreciating it. You know, it sounds good. It sounds heroic. But the truth of the matter is sometimes when your life is at stake, that's when you start appreciating it. And when you appreciate it, you might end up being a lot more humble than you think you would when you are imagining a situation compared to really being it.
Good deal. That's good. That's good. Captain Leonard, talk to me, bro.
That's good, Rico.
Leonard?
Did you call me, Raheem?
I did.
Oh, I mean, I'm kind of the same way I was. You know, it's different when you're in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, if you're a self-defense person, you're going to take a self-defense approach to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Miss Cassandra mentioned how traumatized and what it did to her. So I guess it just depends. I mean, if you're around people that's violent, you usually trying to, you know, protect yourself the majority of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm used to people doing stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So Leonard, you say, I'm being silly, y'all. Y'all bear with me. I'm being silly right now. So the thug came out of Dr. J when he fainted.
I don't know. So maybe who says a thug is always the thug?
It did.
You faint.
It really did.
I mean, it just depends. Like my man Tupac. Tupac said he don't took the crap on himself.
Oh, he released his thug.
The man that's drunk, the body just wasn't hooked up with the mind, right? You know, he couldn't control it.
Let it free.
You know,
let it go free. Let it go free. Ain't no need taking it with you.
You never know what's going to happen if it's unexpected or if it's expected. Like I say, it would depend on how the person got the drop on me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because if you got a gun, I usually have a gun.
Mm-hmm.
So I doubt if you just walk up to me with it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But now if I don't see you coming, that's different.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can imagine what if somebody did walk up and pull a gun to me and put it on the back of my head? Mm-hmm. Okay, I know where the gun is. I'm gonna drop to my knees. I'm gonna probably punch him in the groin and try to gain control that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the strategy.
Yeah. Get away. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if you don't expect it and you have to adjust or you get too emotional, anything can happen. Yeah. You might just break down crying.
Mm-hmm.
You might as well just say it's over with.
You gonna do one of them John Claude Van Damme splits and bust them in.
I'm gonna bust something, right? I'm gonna bust something, Rico. I'm gonna bust something.
Lord Jesus.
You know, Rico said something.
I became an old man, so I can't tell you I'm gonna outstrength you no more. That's why I keep that across my chest.
Rico said something important.
You never know. It's what you know, what you're familiar with. If I don't know if you've ever been around a bunch of guys that keep pistols on them, shooting dice on the corners that ain't safe or whatever. You're kind of usually trying to keep your eyes open and watching everything, and that's why it's so uncomfortable to me to be in those situations because I'm always on my guard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why I prefer to be, you know, small things. I'm not one to say I like big crowds and stuff all the time like I used to when I was younger. Now I'm more into, hey, just trying to be chill. I don't want no problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, I'm a government pro. People start shooting, we run.
Mm-hmm.
People pull a gun. You know, if you got one, you pull a gun.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, you could be sitting down and somebody just bust in your house and pull a pistol on you at their mercy.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you got a plan for that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Like I got people like my grandmother. She had a plan if you walked in the house uninvited.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not getting past that front door if you're not invited.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Dr. J, you wanted to say something?
Rico said something important. At that moment, man, both times I didn't think about praying, but it was later. I had to pray because it had woke something up in me that I didn't know existed.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know how to deal with that. When you become violated, because you feel violated, and now your mind is to react, and I had to pray because I was pulled into a world that I knew nothing about.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So now you got something operating in you. It's a trigger. And I guess it's a self-defense mechanism or whatever, but it kicked in, and now you trying to regroup. Because you done kicked into something that you can't relate to, and now you need prayer that God would bring you back to reality, because I don't know if it's adrenaline. Maybe somebody know what it is. I don't know if it was the adrenaline or what, but afterwards, now it's just as your thought pattern is almost as bad as that person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I don't think, which I didn't anticipate none of the stuff that happened, but I definitely didn't know that was going to take place, that you become just as bad as that person if you're not careful.
Exactly.
You know, and that wasn't a lifestyle of mine, but something had kicked in and I didn't know how to deal with it. So then I had to pray, because reality was, okay, now you sure you could deal with what you getting ready to deal with? Put yourself in, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't. That wasn't my lifestyle, you know. But out of instinct, I went off of instinct, but had to calm that down quick. And I couldn't do it on my own.
Exactly.
And you know, like I say, it came with crying and everything else, because you don't even know who you are at that moment. Then you wrestle with, is this really me? You know,
Mm-hmm.
so it was a challenge for a minute, just trying to deal with the whole situation.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot. And I love the direction that we went with the broadcast today. Let me go with K with an E. K with an E, what's on your heart? Bruce Lisa. Talk to me, Bruce Lisa.
Whatever, no Bruce Lisa. I just, I knew the person, and I just was like, what's your mind?
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a reaction. But I don't know what I would do if it was, I don't, even if I knew the person and they did something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I used to work with the mentally ill, so it goes back to the communication skills.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, I would just have to know how to talk to them. And I definitely, like Sister Cassandra said, she broke out with a gospel song. So that's just like praying, because she definitely broke out with one. So I don't know what I would do. I mean, I talk to God on a regular, so He definitely gonna guide me out of there. It just depends, though.
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't have it all when it comes to people trying to harm me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's not a comfortable place. Hey,
Raheem.
Hey, hold on. Hey, Dudu. I mean, Tucson.
Yeah, I figured you'd get a kick out of that one. But right here, see, I don't think that Daniel prayed in the lion's den. He prayed prior to getting there. When and I like to have fun, but we just don't know. So when we, before we get in situations, is when we pray, because I'm just saying that, and I understand. I probably said right then, Lord have mercy. But then from that point on, I don't know if I'm going to react to it, I don't know if I'm going to say what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to pass out. I don't know if I'm going to turn into Bruce Lee. I've been in situations that were crucial. I remember when the battery blew up in my face. My brother was like, oh man. I said, bro, look, calm down. Just get me to some water and let me wash my eyes out. Ain't no use me panic now. I got acid in my eyes. I remember running off the road. I'm talking about hitting one of the water spot, hydroplane in the car, and the car spinning around in the road. First thing I realized when I was going backwards is put the car in reverse and drive backwards. And when the car starts going forward again, I put it back in drive and start driving on the tree line to get to gain momentum to get back on the road. I don't know. See, when things start happening, it's too late to be trying to figure out what you're going to do or what you're going to say. Hopefully, the prayers that you're praying now is going to give you the instructions you need to guide you through difficult situations that you don't know what you don't know what you're going to do. I know we say it, just like Kay. I mean, who would think that the first thing she's going to do is give a person a good beat down? He didn't expect that. She didn't expect that. I don't think. I don't know.
Kick him
and like Dr. J. I mean, the safest thing for you to be is on the ground. You're going to be on the ground anyway. So pass out. and I mean, hey, it is what it is. But that's a poor thing. He done pooped himself. Whatever it takes to get the man to put the gun down.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Good deal. Badger, you wanted to say something, brother?
Yeah. First off, I wanted to make sure Rico knew that I did. I'm gonna any situation I get dealt with, even if it's a gun situation, I'm asking God, what do you want me to do? I've always been under the impression that part of practicing faith in our relationship with God is also making sure that in situations even like that, we're to hand over fear. And if we're constantly practicing that, I honestly feel that some people on this line be able to handle that situation in a lot better way than they even give themselves credit.
Absolutely.
Because God will probably reach into them and give them exactly what they need for that situation. Because for all we know, I mean, if that happened to me when I was 18, I would have looked at that person and went, "Thank you," and would have just opened my arms. Because I didn't want to be around when I was that age. I would have been thankful.
Wow.
But now that I'm older, it's just, to me, it's just one of the many situations that we can be presented with. We deal with a society where anyone can have access to that thing. So it can happen at any point at any moment in our lives. So I'd rather put my focus in just going, God to give me exactly what I need in a situation like that, and practice my faith from that point on.
Good deal. Good deal. Cassandra? Anything on your heart right now?
No.
Okay. Well, what's going on at 3 o'clock? Because somebody joined this broadcast super late today. 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, even 9:30. And they say, man, there was a great conversation, man. I wish that there was a way I could hear it and hear it in its entirety. Cassandra, can you help them out?
I definitely can help them out. If you have missed any part of the show and would like to see or hear it in its entirety, tune into DKMMediaGroup.com at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, if you've missed any part of the show and would like to see or hear it in its entirety, tune into DKMMediaGroup.com at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Good deal. Good deal. Pledge time. Y'all ready for the pledge? Where's K with E at? K with E, you with me?
Of course.
Okay, good deal. Toussaint, you with me?
Partially.
Good, good deal. Dr. J. Dr. J, you there? I think you might have stepped away for a second. Okay. But here we go. Let's get it, y'all. I will take this day.
I will take this day
and be the best that I can be.
And be the best that I can be.
Do the best that I can.
Do the best that I can.
And help as many people as I can to do the same thing.
And help as many people as I can to do the same thing.
I promise to do it with love.
I promise to do it with love.
Compassion.
Compassion.
And the grace of God.
In the grace of God.
Giving him all the honor.
Giving him all the honor.
All the praise.
All the praise.
And all of the glory.
And all of the glory.
In the name of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
In the name of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Amen, amen, and amen.
Yeah, I was doing Kate. I don't know.
Sorry about that, man. I had an emergency phone call, but I got it.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me see who we got today that's gonna pray us out. How about you know what? Cassandra Alexander Green.
Not me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, you. Yes, you. Come on.
I need prayer. No, I need somebody to pray for me today. Mm-hmm. I need prayer.
You need prayer? Dr. J. Yeah. Dr. J, pray, brother.
Amen. So, Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we thank you. We thank you, God, for being the answer to all our prayers. We thank you, God, that you are the great I am. Lord, I lift the woman of God up this morning, God. Lord, thanking you for being the answer to every situation and circumstance that she may be dealing with, God. Lord, I thank you as I come in agreement with her, God, that you are supernaturally has already handled the situation, no matter what the situation may be, God. Lord, I ask that your peace continue to comfort her, God. Your ministering angels minister to her on today, God. Lord, thank you for each and every one that is on this line this morning, God. Thank you for Raheem and his family and the work that you have him doing in this season, God. Lord, I lift up each and every one of us that is on this line this morning, God. Lord, thank you for your healing power. Thank you, God, as you continue to use us for your glory, God. Lord, we thank you as we continue to walk according to your will and according to your word, God. Lord, you said in your word that it was your word you sent to heal the land. So thank you for the healing. Thank you, God, for meeting our every need according to your riches and glory, God. So, God, we thank you that we are changed, God. Thank you, God, that we are healed, delivered, and set free. Thank you for our children, God, Lord, and our children's children, God. Lord, that you're not only our God, but you're their God, Lord. So, God, I thank you, God, for handling our business for us, God. So we give you glory and we praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your day. It is now 10:10. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. That we shine some of this light in you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other. And please, please, please be blessed. Give somebody some love and truth. They would appreciate it, and I'm sure that you will as well. Have a great day. Talk to you tomorrow morning, if God says the same. Have a great day, y'all. Love ya. Be blessed.
Welcome to the stage where hearts unfold in the morning glow, stories untold. Let's paint with words a masterpiece of art where dialogues bloom, igniting in every heart. Let's tap into the ocean of thoughts where waves of healing gently salt. Let's paint with words a masterpiece of art where dialogues bloom, igniting every heart. Let's dive into the ocean of thoughts where waves of healing gently sought. Together we'll mend, stitch by stitch in the morning glow. Let's make the switch. A symphony of voices harmonize in the air, echoing truth, banishing despair. Let's sow seeds of unity, watch them grow in this garden of hope under the morning glow. Let's bridge the gaps, erase the line in the tapestry of hearts that love shine. With every word, a step we take towards a brighter dawn for all our sake. Welcome to the morning glow, where dreams take flight in this realm of possibilities. Let's unite, together we stand, hand in hand, healing the nation across the land. Let's dive into the ocean of thoughts where waves of healing gently sought. Together we'll mend, stitch by stitch in the morning glow. Let's make the switch. Let's dive into the ocean of thoughts where waves of healing gently sought. Together we'll mend, stitch by stitch in the morning glow. Let's make the switch. Let's symphony of